thinking now Monday morning is ready to go to watch Acrobats right there alongside Nyolo Ngoma. So watch Acrobats alongside Nyolo Ngoma. I can't remember the last time I experienced this. I think I was in conference or something. I was way back the culture week. We have really missed this. I know everything will acknowledge the fact that indeed we have missed this. I hope Fred later on will give us that feel of Jambo. Jambo Bwana. Habari gani? Mzuri sana.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful on what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
What we are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet Njoki, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Our version of Kilimo Diaries is different. Crops, livestock, all working together. Everything has a purpose, from land preparation, management, and not forgetting the market space. No farmer puts down his tools, and neither do we. Your Farmer's Daily Diary with Sandra Wahito every Sunday. Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful on what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi mbili tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness.
Oh, and they just unceremoniously decided that we cut the music at that level. Nyolo Ngoma or Nyolo dancers and Swart acrobats right there. Showcasing the best of what it is, and you have like a step back saying, very important to note that it is on this day, the 21st day of September, we get to celebrate the World Tourism Day, of World Tourism 2021 under the banner Tourism for Inclusive Growth. So much. We all acknowledge how endowed we are as Africa, as a global fraternity, and how deeply tourism has taken center stage in terms of boosting the economy. You know, majority of African countries, so it takes about position 3 of the economic drivers of a majority of countries in Africa. So it's therefore this morning we take that honor to celebrate this great moment of master tourism. Remember, the main celebration is being commemorated by the United Nations World Organization, or United Nations Tourism World Organization, commemorated at Cote d'Ivoire. And in our own mini special way, we decide that as a country, and this courtesy of the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel, we get to celebrate this. The Kenya Safari Lodges holds Mombasa Beach Hotel, holds Voi Safari Lodge, and holds Ngulia Safari Lodge that is in Savo West. And today this morning we are in Savo East National Park, or Savo East Park, which is the theater of the world. Yes, they call it the theater of the world, alongside other, parks that have also their special, names. But then again, we are sitting right at the theater of the world, and at the theater of the world, we are seated at the Voi Safari Lodge. The Voi Safari Lodge is known as the Pearl of Savo East. And so we have the best of matters tourism, and we're here to speak of how endowed we are as a country, especially at this point when it is, a time of unprecedented times of COVID-19. COVID-19 ravaged hugely the tourism sector, and therefore we are on a mission to make sure that this is resuscitated, on a mission to make sure that this is revived. And this can only be done if we all come together to, make sure that we remind the world of how endowed we are, our resources, forget about resources, our animals. I have had a chance to tour the Savo East National Park, and I can tell you it is one to die for. That is to tell you that there's so much that can be done. And in celebrating the aspect of inclusivity, then we'll speak hugely of how we can incorporate everything and anything to make sure that tourism is taken to another level. We'll be talking about leisure tourism. We'll be talking about business tourism, and we'll be having specialists that will tell us in their own capacity what is this that they are doing to make sure that we are able to revive our tourism sector. So Karibu Sana is going to be a week of all interesting moments. Like I started by saying, when was the last time you got to experience this? And so, courtesy of Morning Cafe, we are here to make sure that at least you get we all join to commemorate this special day. Remember, we'll be pitching camp or tent right here throughout the week up until on a Friday. And so I'll call you to be part and parcel of all the Morning Cafe conversations every morning on TV 47, so that you do not miss out on the action, you do not miss out on the drama, you do not miss out on the entertainment, information, and above everything, education. And so I will be introducing you to a couple of, guests that we'll be having this morning. We have so much lined up for you right from now. We'll be going all the way down. Like I said, this is courtesy of the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels, and therefore we'll be having the general manager of the same to speak to us and officially get to welcome us to Voi Safari Lodge, and that is a Savo National Park, as we all get to understand why we are holding these celebrations here and why we are here for the next days up until on a Friday. Above everything, we'll be having the Member of Parliament of Voi. We are honored to host him this morning. We also get to understand what they are doing as leaders to make sure that at least this glory of matters tourism does not escape from the hands of the coastal region. And definitely we'll also touch some bit on the coastal politics, indeed, conversation that you do not want to miss out on. And as you have seen, we have the acrobats and we have the dancers. We'll also allow them a chance to say something in regards to the aspect of the culture. And you, look at me, just look at me. Don't I look beautiful? Indeed, I look beautiful, and therefore we celebrate the tighter, traditional wear, and we'll also get a brief story of what, of course, informs my dressing this morning. So make sure that you keep it right here, and you also tell us what is this one thing that gets you, motivated and gets you feeling, that thrill every moment that you think of your traditional wear or your traditional attire. We'll be having the chef. It's a morning, and therefore it's only fair that we get to enjoy the best of Voi Safari Lodge. And so Chef Ireri will not disappoint this morning. Definitely will be treating us to a nice breakfast, and above everything, later on we get to know what, of course, they have in store in terms of foods. And so when you're coming to the park, you need not to worry, because you have a nice place to stay, and above everything, all the best of food as you sit down. Oh, my room, by the way, I sit somewhere, at the bed, and I'm looking down there, and elephants and lions, the big five, I can get to enjoy them. So you can imagine, you need to speak this out there to the world. Above everything, like we said, we also understand that we've done so much of leisure tourism, and now we want to expound the scope further in embracing business tourism. And so we'll be having a specialist that will join us to discuss matters tourism at another level. Tourism in the sense of making sure that we tap into the conferences that can, be hosted in the country. We tap so much so into the aspect of business into the country. And so we welcome you to be part of the conversation alongside Jacinta, the Kenya Convention Bureau Tourism, as, of course, CEO, and she will be here to make sure that we also get to know the best of that. We also do not forget to speak about the aspect of tourism at large and the Savo East, and that will be alongside Captain Kenneth, who will take us through that. And we do not forget about Pacific Realty. Pacific Realty, darling to us, they have been part and parcel of pushing for this day in terms of sponsoring us, and therefore we say we are honored to always walk around with them as they walk around with us. Pacific Realty speaks of, the aspect of real estate. We all understand that the demand of houses, of people getting to own their own property, is on the shoot or is on the rise, and therefore you can imagine that at such a time and date when life is extremely expensive, you can as well start setting up your own investment, and only 40%. That is courtesy of Pacific Realty. And so they come out as the best construction partner that you'd ever want to partner with. And so we'll be having moments of speaking to them, and we get to know how, as we have this conversation on matters tourism, you also get to, understand, and you get to invest, and you get to set up a structure that you will retire to. We say long gone are the days where you want to have the landlord knocking on your door. And so if you're getting this partner who's going to help you out to set up your structure, then what more do you want? A conglomeration of activities right here all the way to 10 a.m. Fredia is on standby with some bit of music, so make sure that you keep it right here as we get to enjoy and celebrate this moment. It's just 4 hours of your time that you will love, so make sure that you keep it right here. My name is Linda Alela, and this is Morning Cafe, well, courtesy of TV47. Thank you to our management for allowing us to come all the way. Let's get to enjoy the best of the acrobats as I cross over to the other side and speak to the CEO of Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels. So what? Do your thing. All right, yes, you can, mnaweza wapatia mziki kidogo at least hata mnaweza waimbia jambo bwana, amjui jambo bwana. Bas. Hakuna Matata, we've held this glory for the longest of time, and we do not intend to lose that. The aspect of peace is crucial. If at all we have to have our tourism fruition and do well as it has always done, then peace is crucial, peace is pertinent. Welcome aboard. As earlier said, I'll be speaking to the CEO of the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel, General Manager equally, that is Joseph Ndunda, as of course he works, unakaa kama wewe ndio mgeni na mimi ndio mgeni. Welcome us, bwana. You should be, tukaribishe. Thank you.
Morning to our viewers.
Yeah.
Welcome to Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels. And in particular, Voice Safari Lodge, where we are based this day as we celebrate World Tourism Day.
Yep.
And also welcome, Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you to the TV47 family. We welcome everybody, including our honorable member and KWS, so that they can come and we celebrate all together. And that is why the theme of this year is inclusivity towards growing tourism.
Yeah.
And therefore, we welcome everybody on behalf of even our board and the KSLH family.
Thank you so much. And when you speak of the KSLH family, then one would want to know, who are these?
KSLH stands for Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels. And Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels has three units, is a group of hotels. We have Mombasa Beach Hotel, based in Mombasa. We have Voice Safari Lodge, where we are now in Savo East. And we have Ngulia Safari Lodge, which is in Savo West.
All right.
Yes.
So a government entity?
Yes, the hotel chain is owned by the government.
Yes.
They're the main shareholder, and therefore here we are safe.
All right. 100% safety is guaranteed. I saw a lion and I was like, yeah, am I safe? But I was guaranteed of safety. That is to say that people should come tembea Kenya as much as possible.
Sure. We are secure here where we are, and also look at the location of the lodge. There are no elephants which can climb the hill here, the stones, and come here. And therefore, we have a nice scenery here overlooking the watering hole. And this is one of the safest places. And above all, we are just a few kilometers from Voice Safari Lodge, where even locals can just walk in for a day game drive and also lunches at our facilities. And therefore, it's not, and even to make it also affordable, KWS have been charging everybody, locals, 500 shillings to get into the park and have a game drive. So that is something which we can be proud of. And again, also that can be termed as inclusivity, because we are able now to attract the local tourism and domestic tourism, because also for our size, we have also lowered the rates and given favorable rates to our locals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, the proximity is to die for. I could believe that in just how many minutes from, Voi town I was here.
15 minutes. At
maximum.
Most 15.
Yes. And you're here, which is indeed something that is pretty much good. COVID-19 came, did its thing. It's still here with us.
Yes.
And as we speak of inclusivity, we also are struggling to know, how do we bring back the sector to life? How has it been?
It has not been easy. And truly saying, speaking, it's that last year when COVID struck us, and some of the researchers were saying COVID is here to stay with us up to even 2022. We thought they were prophets of doom.
Yeah.
But here we are. We still have the COVID, and we have now learned how to live with it.
Right.
One of the things I must say COVID has done is it has affected the whole of the tourism industry. One, by reducing the revenues because of the ban of international travels, and also locally when we had some restrictions in movement within counties. That came with also some disadvantages, because most of the establishment had to reduce their workforce And as we are speaking, even today, there are some establishments which they still have their employees at home since last year.
Yeah.
But therefore, it has affected us a lot. And you see, when we don't have tourism activities happening, also the income, it is affected across board. And if I can just mention that from 2010, tourism has grown a bit. Actually, I would say that we've looked at the numbers where we were going now before COVID came. We were expecting the numbers to climb further because we started from, if I can mention, 2010, we had 1.6 million international arrivals.
Yeah.
And 2019 and 2018, 2019, we hit 2 million mark. And if it was not for COVID, I would say this year would have been the best, would have even surpassed the target, which would have, by now would be talking about hitting 2.5 million international tourists.
But we still remain positive.
We still remain positive. We are seeing some recoveries because what hotels have done is, and tourism establishments, is that they have vaccinated their staff. And indeed, when you are here, you feel safe because we are all our staff who are serving us everywhere here in the whole compound. They are all vaccinated, and that is the way forward. Because without that, we will not even gain the confidence of the international tourists.
Well said.
Yes.
All right, and of course, like you rightfully put it, I agree to the fact that indeed all the protocols have been observed in terms of making sure that we deal with COVID-19 and the spread, which is one thing that is way positive. So what are the plans? Any special programs for world tourism? Of course, this is special. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Welcome.
This is special in a huge way. But anything beyond that, any offers for people who would want to come and...
Yes. This week, as we celebrate our World Tourism Day, we came out strongly and said that we are going to encourage our local domestics, domestic tourists to travel to our facilities and visit them.
Yeah.
And we have given a special offers of 7,000 per person sharing. That is a double 14,000 for our lodges, both lodges, Ngulia Safari Lodge and Voi Safari Lodge, where we are. Right. And you can attest that that is a very good rate when you look at the services and the facility we have here. In Mombasa Beach, we are also offering special rates of 6,000 per person. But if you are traveling alone, you are not left out. In the lodges, we are giving 9,500 special rate per person, and that includes your accommodation, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We call it full board.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty much, cheap, or so to speak, affordable.
Yes, it's
and therefore, I guess it's to call for people to take advantage of that.
Sure. We invite everybody and welcome everybody who is willing to visit us as we sample our facilities and our services, and want to assure them that all the protocols are observed and we are going to take good care of them.
Right, amazing. As say government entities and all that, do you suppose we've done enough and we're doing so much more in terms of making sure that the industry is revived above everything when we speak about inclusivity as to the theme of the United Nations, or what has been said by the United Nations World Tourism Organization? What are some of the key things that we speak of this time around that will help us, push that aspect of inclusivity?
One, as I had said, almost all the facilities have given special rates to encourage guests to travel. And everybody is aware that people have been restricted so much and they want to move out. Two, the government has also assisted us a lot in the tourism industry by providing the vaccines. So if I can just quote the numbers, like the costs, where we are now, the numbers of the people in the tourism industry who have been vaccinated either with the first dose or the second dose, we are now approaching 3 million and 3,000, sorry. We are approaching 3,000. And that's a good step forward because as we have said, we are going to live with this COVID and we cannot do anything else. So the only thing we can do is just to make ourselves safe and ensure that our guests who are coming, they are also safe by vaccinating everybody. Two, I think the government also has done a lot in terms of security, providing security. And two, the other thing is also from our side, we've also partnered with our main shareholders and stakeholders, the KWS, whereby we have decided to promote the park and the facility together so that we can have that synergy and make sure that whoever is coming in the park, in National Park, and whoever is also coming to the facilities is well taken care of.
All right, amazing. And so because I am at the Voi Safari Lodge, I think I'll speak of Voi Safari Lodge. Amazing. I hope you make sure that I visit Mombasa Beach Hotel and you make sure that I...
Coming to the facilities is well taken care of.
All right, amazing. And so because I am at the Voi Safari Lodge, I think I'll speak of Voi Safari Lodge. Amazing. I hope you make sure that I visit Mombasa Beach Hotel and you make sure that I visit Ngulia so I can speak on of what I have seen. But so far, so good, I must acknowledge. And I know we'll be having a whole week to speak to you some more. And of course, I'll allow you that moment to probably proceed and organize everybody. I know it's the first time that we're doing this show, so there's a lot of organization that needs to be done. But even before you go, business and leisure, which one is, catching up pretty much fast? That is business tourism and leisure tourism.
Leisure is not yet up to what we expected.
Okay.
But business is taking up the shape. It's starting to take up shape, and we hope even the leisure by end of next month, we should be seeing good numbers coming up. As before I also finish on that topic, I would say that I know many people may be having the question when I mentioned we also have the Mombasa Beach about what we are doing, but I want to assure everybody that renovations are the process in progress, and very soon we are going to have a new brand hotel.
Amazing. Well, capacity building is crucial in this case, and therefore let's come and celebrate what we have as a country. There's so much to celebrate, there's so much to enjoy, there's so much to go and look, and there's so many animals for us to celebrate, and above everything we are pushed to make sure that we are able to preserve the environment, because it is the environment that will guarantee us the best of tourism. Like I say earlier on, remember we're sitting here courtesy of the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel. That is the General Manager, Joseph Ndunda, who's done this incredible job of making sure that we are here. And as mentioned again, we'll be here for the better part of the week. We're going all the way to Friday just to speak of the goodness that we have in the tourism sector in the country. We know COVID-19 came and, times are tough, but we have managed, and we want to believe that we'll be able to take it a notch higher in terms of reviving our sector. Can you probably paint, an expectation of what it is that we have in terms of going back to at least where it is that we were?
We are not expecting 2022 to be so much better, because one, we have the elections. Two, from where we are coming from, it's we will not expect 100% revival or comeback from where we were in 2019. The numbers were good, and what we expect is after next year, 2022, 2023, we expect now to see the growth coming up. 2024, 2025, I'm sure if nothing else comes in to interrupt, we'll be talking about 2.5 million international arrivals, and we will be actually able to conquer even what we achieved in 2019. So I'm very much optimistic, and the industry is optimistic that in 2023 and 2024, 2024 is going to be the top, and 2025.
All right.
Yes, so let's not lose hope. There is a light after COVID and after the election, we're going to revive. We're going to go back where we were in 2019 and even surpass that.
All right, amazing. And we all take part in this. Remember, we said it is that time that we spread hugely the aspect of Tembea Kenya. Let's all embrace local tourism. It's really, really important. It's therapeutic. It's amazing. We need to know what it is that we have as a people. Joseph Ndunda, General Manager, Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel. Like we said, we'll have more of listening to you. Sure. But on this very note, we leave it at that. We have so much again lined up for you, as earlier mentioned. And right after this short break that we'll be taking, we'll be speaking to the Member of Parliament of Voi constituency, Honorable Jones Magungu, and we get to know what the government is doing, what the legislators are doing in their own capacity to make sure that the glory of tourism is revived after this break.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irungu.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home, or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
What we are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet and Jackie, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
These are the side buildings. All right, with home ownership being on the rise in the country, did you ever imagine that you can, build your own house, 40% less of your initial budget? Well, we are talking about Pacific Realty Investment, the people who are sponsoring us or have sponsored also our tour all the way to Savo East National Park this morning and this week. And that is just to spread the message that, it is possible for you to own a home. Many are the times where you'd felt like, you're looking into your budget or to your budget and you're thinking, oh, well, this is way below what it is that I would imagine. Where do I begin from? Where do I get land? Where do I get the materials? Am I even able to afford all that? But you need not to worry, because then Pacific Realty Investment is coming in with lots of options that would be friendly for you to set up a home, a place that you can retire to. And so we'll also be having them sometimes in the week so that they can tell us more of what options they are presenting to us. There's no excuse. We keep talking about what President Uhuru Kenyatta says, affordable housing, and therefore that is the driving factor. And so as we celebrate World Tourism Day, it is important that we also acknowledge the partners that have worked with us throughout this. We also do not forget the contribution of the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel in making sure that we are hosted here at the Voi Safari Lodge, right at the heart, or say the pearl of the Savo East National Park. And so we're having the conversation on matters tourism and the aspect of inclusivity. And every time that we're talking about every sector in the country, what is crucial is the aspect of leadership. It is the leadership, it is the politics of the day that shapes every conversation. And therefore, on matters tourism also, we do not fail to speak of this with the leaders of the day. And today we are honored to host the Member of Parliament of Voi constituency, Honorable Jones Mwagogo, who will be taking us through a conversation as we get to understand what they are doing at the leadership level to make sure that we're able to revive the tourism sector that has hugely been affected by the unprecedented times of COVID-19. Mheshimiwa, it's a pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Asante sana for creating time. And sometimes we want to hit the politicians so hard because we always feel like they lack this goodwill in terms of making sure activities in the country run well. What would you say of the tourism sector? And we all understand 101% that the coastal region holds 3/4 of the aspect of tourism in the country.
Thank you for the invite, but I want to say that my name is John Simlolo. I'm the MP for Voi. I'm serving my second term. I was first elected in 2013. Now, when it matters tourism, I think Coast Province is one of the major tourist attractions in this country.
Yep.
As members of Parliament, and I sit in the Tourism Committee of Parliament, we have made so many ways on how we are going to assist the tourism to pick up.
Yeah.
Like there's a fund which is a revolving fund which are lending to the hotels to ensure that they revive their business, which has been affected by the COVID pandemic, and even some employees who have been out of work. I remember some hotels in Mombasa and the coastal region are even giving some money to these employees who have been out of employment. So as leaders, we are really concerned about tourism, especially as coastals, because this is the mainstay of our economy. Yes.
Yes, how much more different is it for the coastal region legislators, even as the conversations are on at the level of Parliament? Because we understand that when we talk tourism, we talk the country at large, but like you rightfully put it, it is the coast that holds the largest chunk. So how different and how dear then is this conversation?
To us, it's too dear. In fact, for me, one of the reasons I want to appreciate the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels for this invite, because if looking at this hotel also, it has been depopulated. We need them refurbished from Mombasa Safari Lodge, Mombasa Beach, Voi Safari Lodge, Ngulia, and the rest in the chain of Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels. Generally, the coastal hotels are tired because they have not been refurbished for some time now. Yeah, looking at them, they need to put new innovations so that they're able to attract more people. The tourists no longer just come to watch the beach and the parks. They need to see more than that. And this starts from how our hotels positioned.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, there's a lot to be done. The government should be able to start with these hotels belonging to Kenya Safari Lodges and hotels. Then they can move to other hotels, but they should start from their own.
All right. Yeah. What are the legislative agendas as of now in terms of making sure that these, dreams are realized?
That is a conversation we are always holding the CS for tourism, and he's aware about these matters. We've visited here as a tourism committee. We've been here, we've been in Mombasa Beach, we've been in Kisumu Sunset, so we know what is going on. We are interested to see that these matters are addressed and fast enough. Yes.
All right, COVID-19 is here, and we are talking about the aspect of revival, resuscitating the sector itself. I don't know how engaged as members of parliament, and not just members of parliament, but local leaders of the coast, you are in terms of making sure that this, again, plays out well, and above everything, the connection with the private, sector or the private players.
When we talk about tourism, we are not talking about those which belong to the government. We are talking about that tourism as a country's economy. So even the private investors, we want to include them. That is why the government says they will also give them some money to revive their businesses. This includes all other hotels. Yeah? Any investor doing hotel business in this country is able to borrow from the government. There is a fund which has been created by the government to give these people so that they can be able to survive with their business. Yes.
All right, and speaking of which, this is a fact, an unfortunate fact for that matter, and not here to paint a negative picture of the government, but we have for the longest of time felt like entities that have been manned by the government are dwindling by the day. And on numerous occasions you've had that conversation that how about we speak of privatization, we speak of the likes of Mumias. The Western leaders are always in parliament trying to push for ways and agendas that can help revive the Mumias and the sugar companies that we have there, or the sugar sector. Do you suppose that entities like, the Kenya Safari Lodges and hotels are doing so well in the hands of government? And if so, what needs to be done to make sure that the same vigor and the same level of success can be attained in other sectors?
I wouldn't say they are doing well.
Okay.
That's why I've said the government should start with these ones, the ones they own, before moving out to other entities.
Yeah.
It's true that those entities being run by the government are doing badly. That's a fact. Everybody can read that. But is it the government running down, or is it the people who are managing this, these entities? I believe a sector like tourism, these Kenya Safari Lodges and hotels, if it was given enough money to refurbish themselves, I'm sure they can be able to compete with other big hotels.
Right.
In
the aspect of budgeting, now that you brought this conversation on monies, I don't know how much. Do you suppose that, during the budget reading processes, the chunk that is directed to tourism is enough to sustain the sector? And do you suppose that we're collecting enough that would match up to what it is that they're normally given? And I mean, just looking at the situation prior to COVID-19 and now that we have COVID-19.
Yeah, the government is not giving enough money to the tourism sector. That's a fact. Despite the fact that they collect a lot of money, more than any other sector, they are not given more money to continue plowing back to the economy. So it is a problem. We've talked about it. And every time we are seeing budget cuts, the tourism ministry is given the biggest cut. Even the money which is supposed to be coming from tourists, the 10%, $10 airport tax, it doesn't flow down to the tourism. So there is a problem. The government is not looking at the sectors which are actually producing for this country. I can confirm that they are not given enough money to run whatever they're supposed to be doing in this country.
Legislators, member of parliament should speak on behalf, should push for this. Is that being done enough?
We've done our best, and I think we'll continue.
Any bills that are being pushed towards, an angle of tourism?
A lot. We are doing that a lot to ensure that tourism is taken care of. Yeah.
For instance, what bill do we have right now that speaks of matters tourism in parliament?
At the moment, we don't have, but we have some few regulations, especially on management of the taxation, which is supposed to be trickled down to the economy. We are trying to make the regulations to ensure that that money actually comes to benefit the tourism industry. Yeah.
All right. Suddenly, conversations must be going on. And as a member of parliament, then you also look into what it is that sells your own constituency, that sells your county, and you'd want to tap into that. And we know we're headed to an electioneering period, and therefore that can be used as a very good campaign tool. What are some of the things that you'd propose would bring great changes, looking at Voi itself, looking at the parks that sit in Voi?
One thing I want to confirm that 99% of the Tsavo East National Park sits in Voi constituency. And 62% of Taita Taveta County is a national park, that is Tsavo East and West.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to matter, one thing we must do is to ensure that Tsavo ecosystem is restored, because it has been depleted. You can see what is happening.
Yeah.
The rivers which are supposed to be transversing this area have all dried because of the economic, whatever is happening up in the hills. So we need, as a matter of fact, to restore Tsavo ecosystem.
Right.
And that is very urgent. And in our part, we have already started that conversation, and we have involved the government, we have involved the NGOs, we have involved the private sector to ensure that we restore Tsavo. Once we restore Tsavo, even economically, the people living around will also benefit from it. That includes farming, whether it's dairy or normal, farming. We want to ensure that anybody living within the Tsavo conservation area is a beneficiary of what is going to happen economically, not only in the park, but even outside the park.
All right, and I'm keen to understand what are some of the things that are being done towards that, and in terms of encouraging also the communities living around, the people of the coastal region to take advantage of what it is that they're well endowed. And I know devolution comes with so much, greatness and goodness. What has devolution brought to tourism at the coastal region, and how much are the people, around the coastal region embracing the same, so that, we don't have to have people from the coastal region, people from Taita Taveta going to other parts of the country in search of jobs, yet there's so much to tap into.
A lot of things have not been tapped yet, but before I forget, I want to come to this point of the human-wildlife conflict in this area.
Yes.
It is really a problem. Now we are saying, apart from compensation, which is taking a bit longer, I want, apart from the compensation, people also to benefit from tourism direct or indirectly. Anybody within the Tsavo area should be able to benefit either by maybe having homestays for the tourists, and that will be a direct benefit to the people, or maybe small industries which will be associated with tourism. And we have so many like Viondos, we do a lot of them in this Taita Taveta County.
Yeah.
These can be able, even our ranches, can be transformed to ensure that they also attract tourism. I will tell you for a fact, nowadays, unless we market Tsavo seriously, there is a problem, because people are going to Masai Mara. People are going to other parks, forgetting Tsavo. So Tsavo needs to be restored, and Tsavo needs to be marketed properly for it to work now.
Right.
Yeah. Because if you look at the tourism, how many do they come into Tsavo? I think the percentage is very, very small compared to what we used to know about Tsavo. So something has to be done, and a lot of it. That is one. Number two, we need also to see what do we need to do in Tsavo, apart from maybe restoring it, which will also attract more tourists. I can assure today Tsavo is beaten by Amboseli in matters of tourists visiting. So it's a conversation which we need to take forward and see what we can do moving ahead.
I am tempted, Mheshimiwa, and forgive me for this, to challenge you to probably rate the performance of CS Balala in terms of this. Because, we always say that, well, if a leader comes from our end, then we have to experience the fruits of the same. What do you make of his performance in terms of handling the tourism sector, and above everything, that of the coastal region?
I will give him 4/10.
That is way below
Average. I say so, because we are not seeing much impact from him.
Don't you people have conversations?
Hardly.
Why?
Well, maybe that's...
Is there nobody who can drive the same? It doesn't necessarily have to come from him.
We would have wished to do that. I think we've tried.
Have you made efforts? No.
Not much.
Why not?
But we've tried.
Why not? Because the people are looking at you as legislators, as leaders.
I don't think he has done much for the coastal. Yeah.
It is okay. Is it too late to start doing much?
It is not too late. We can start the conversation. Yeah.
The marketing aspect. How are the people receiving this aspect of tourism? When you speak to your constituents, what are some of the proposals that they echo out? What are some of the disappointments that they echo out? And how do you intend to address them, especially pertaining to tourism?
The only problem we have about tourism is it is associated with animals.
Okay.
And animals are really destroying our food areas around the park. I can tell you the conflict is big. That when you talk about tourism, as much as this is our mainstay, it is having some negative impact on it. But we are trying to talk to our people. We are explaining to them that let's get away. How do we live with these animals and both of us benefit? Yeah, the animals stay with us, but how do we benefit as the communities around? So that is one of the major problems. But otherwise, we can manage very well. We love tourism. That is our mainstay around. Yeah. Yeah. Anything
so much that has been achieved in terms of making sure that this crisis, human wildlife crisis, is at least at a level where we can say we have done made strides?
Nothing much. Okay, a bit of compensation is coming out, but it's taking too long. I think I want to send an amendment to the law such that we have a time limit, because the law is timeless. If my crops are destroyed today, can they be compensated in the next 6 months? But we're having a timeless law, which means even the people whose crops were destroyed in 2014, up to now, they have not been compensated, majority of them. So this law is not a very good law. It needs to be changed a bit, to have some time limits.
What is the space of devolution in all this?
Tourism, to some extent, is a devolved function.
Yeah.
I had even expected that we would have invited maybe the CS4 for tourism in this area. I wouldn't want to speak for them. But one item also, which if you are to market Savo well, we need the airstrip, which is around here in Ikanga, to be operational, so that tourists do not need to fly to Mombasa and then come back. They should be able to fly to Voi direct and then into the park.
Because the temptation of staying in Mombasa would be way high, and therefore they not end up coming to Voi.
Correct.
All right, all the same, we are glad that we have this conversation. I guess it's a step towards the right direction. Every time that people are having conversation, then you can be rest assured that at least results, you are hopeful for results for that matter. I know it would be unfair for me to let you go without saying something small about politics, the coastal region politics, before I let you go. What do you make of it?
The coastal regional politics is folding up, is unfolding now. We are yet to make a really start where we are. But we know where we've been, and we are not likely to change much.
Okay. Why do you say so? I guess for the very first time we've seen a lot of adjustments and leaders from the coast, Kingi, Joho, coming out and appearing as though, Samboja.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, we are where we are.
It's just mark timing.
Yeah, we are believing that things will be either better or worse. But we believe this time round we shall be in the right place.
What is the right place in this case?
Well, we must be in the government. We've not been there for a long time. Yes.
And so, at the level of the presidency, at the level of what?
from the president coming down.
Coming down.
Yes.
There's going to be space for you.
Down.
Do you think there is that unity of purpose that the people of the leaders of the coastal region, and I'm glad that when we're talking about the coastal region, you know, there are very many tribes incorporated. Tribe is something that, you know, has really weighed us down as a country. And therefore, when the people of the coast are speaking, the beauty of it is that is, you know, a conglomeration of different tribes that are incorporated in that. Do you suppose there is the leadership that is needed, you know, and the unity aspect at the level of the leadership for you to attain this?
The unity in coast is a very elusive matter. We may not achieve it. It has been there, it has been talked about, we've talked about coastal parties. It has not worked before. I don't think it will work this time. I think it will be cheating ourselves that we are going to work together. We are going to be divided, that's for sure.
Whoa.
We shall end up maybe being in two different camps.
Is it so?
Yes.
It's not even under ODM this time around, because it appears like ODM has, you know, coast has been a stronghold for ODM.
It has been, and I believe it is, but this time round, I don't know whether it will be the same.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Do you feel like somebody else has taken the ground and there's a bit of them penetrating?
The ground could be shifting, yes, could be shifting.
To Tanga Tanga?
Well...
well, what? I know you're elected under ODM, and so it becomes hard for you to speak about this, but it is out here.
What I'm saying, the ground may not be the way it was in 2017. There are shifts and whatever. Yes.
All right, time is moving very fast, and much as we would say that, you know, one day in politics is like years and years, reality is that sometimes, especially for regions that have not spoken for themselves for a long time, it's good to move in speed. So the speed is good enough?
You wait and see.
Yeah. Okay, so are we in for a shock?
Yes.
You need to speak to your people so at least they know where they stand and what are the chances.
I'm sure by end of this year, by February, a lot of things will happen. There will be a lot of shifts and whatever.
At the level of the coastal region?
Yes. And everybody in the country.
And everybody in the country.
Coastal is part of this Kenya.
I agree, but you know, every time you're going to an area, it is always good to understand. They say politics is local, Mahesh. That's why we really want to understand now that we are, you know, at the coastal region, and so it's important that the people also get to know what direction they take, because it is the leaders that shape the conversation. And so your plans yourself?
My plans?
Politically?
I'm still vying for the MPship. I'm not moving.
Right.
So that's what I know for the time being. Yes.
Rate your performance since you got the seat.
I think I can rate myself to over 7%. Over
Why?
7 over 10.
Why?
I have done a lot in terms of the schools infrastructure, improving people's lives. I think I've done, I've managed to do over 90% of the primary and secondary schools in this constituency.
In terms of your manifesto and the promises that you gave to your people, what percentage?
I've done 90%.
90%?
Yes.
So why would you want to come back if you've done 90?
I want to finish the 10.
So in 5 years, if you've done 90 in these years, what will you be doing all the other years after you finish the 10?
I'll start new things. There are so many things which need to be done. New projects, new innovations which need to come in, and I'm ready for the task.
All right, 90 is quite huge, and so we might not be able to articulate.
Okay.
So let's talk about the 10 you've not done. What is this 10 that you feel like you want to come back and tell your people, I want to finish this?
Okay, I've not managed to finish all the primary schools and the secondary schools which I wanted to do because of course, the money is not enough every day, you know that, the budgets, but we have tried to be somewhere. Okay, I may say, okay, maybe 90 is a bit on the higher side, but I think we have managed to do 80. Yeah, and so far I'm comfortable. I'm happy of what we have done. Yeah.
What is the ground saying? Do you suppose your people are satisfied at your performance?
Yes, they are satisfied.
That's what they say while on the ground.
Yeah. But you see, as you say, politics, even a day is a long period.
There can be a huge shift.
Yeah, it can be.
You have an idea of your competitors?
I don't expect so, but I have competitors. I don't take them for granted. Yeah, but I'm there. Yeah.
Security lies squarely in your docket. Education lies in your docket.
Yes.
You have spoken so dearly about education in terms of what you have achieved.
Yes.
The aspect of security, the aspect of representation at the level of parliament, you know, the aspect of legislation and oversight as a member of parliament. Do you suppose if you'd come back to your people, they say you have done well?
Matters of security, yes, I've done quite a lot. because when you talk about security, we are basically saying how much have I done in, say, putting a police station. So far I've managed to put, I think, 2. I've managed to put a few ACC's office, chief's office, assistant chief's offices. All this I've done in the years I've been there. Yeah, in the matters of representation, yes, I have, because I've even sent, I've argued a lot about this wildlife bill. I was one of the people who really spearheaded it. Yeah, to ensure that we are the people who are really concerned about this wildlife conflict, human-wildlife conflict. So we are there to ensure that our people get the right law for them to protect them in future. And we have managed to do that. And as I say now, I want to take an amendment to have some time limits, yeah, for these compensations, so that our people don't wait forever for the compensation.
All right. And CDF is one that has given headache to the members of parliament, to the leaders, to the people on ground. What are some of the things that would be a proposal, that you'd make for us to see that CDF functions well?
The CDF has its own act, and it is actually administered from Nairobi. Yeah. Apart from as an MP, I'm only a patron. I don't even sit in the committee meetings. So far, I think CDF has done a lot. Going around the country, you see so many projects about CDF. So I think CDF is a good thing. It may need some fine tuning, but MPs are not entirely, do not run the CDF fund. Yes. So you should not blame if there's any wrongdoing.
We're actually not blaming them. In fact, I wanted you to raise the matter of, saying, I remember there's a time they said they're not going to even speak of the budget if the CDF monies are not released. And therefore, in such angles, I would have expected for probably you to address that. But like you rightfully put it, it doesn't squarely sit, under the MPs in as much as they hold a stake.
Correct.
And therefore, adjustments should be done somehow in terms of the release of the funds?
Correct. They should be released immediately after we pass the budget, so that the projects which we promise people should be able to be seen within that financial year. Yeah, I think that is only our problem. When the money is not released in time, or it's released in bits, that becomes a big problem even to manage. Especially now when it comes about bursary funding. Bursary funding is supposed to be there as we open the schools in first year. on 1st January, for example. But the money will come maybe in July. How do we help these children going to school? That's where the problem is. That's when we say we will not pass this until we get this.
All right.
That is for our people. It's not for us.
All right. Well, good. I hope that such can be streamlined.
And even for bursaries, I've managed to give bursaries to so many students. Like this last financial year, I managed to give over 30 million to students from secondary school to universities and colleges. So it is a really good thing because it's helping our people on the ground.
All right. Asante sana, Honorable Member of Parliament of Voi Constituency, Jones Mlulwa Mogogo. It was nice speaking to you this morning. I hope that much can be achieved out of your leadership and generally the leadership of Taita Taveta. It was an honor having you. We are taking a quick break. Remember, we still have so much lined up for you. We'll be talking about business, tourism, which is really, really crucial towards the aspect of inclusivity. And above everything, we'll be having Captain Kenneth Ochieng, KWS Assistant Director, to as well tell us more on that. Mheshimiwa has decided to run away from set. Mapema sana, but all the same, thank you so much. I know you're rushing to Parliament.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top, the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet and Jackie, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
At least you don't have a time. I'm used to this. Yeah, it's really, I am used. You want it? You don't want it? We'll just have it for... I don't think I want it either.
Bye.
Wow. Oh, that is what we'll be treating you to for the better part of the week. You know, you're waking up to great music because it's all deep-rooted in our cultures. That is life, I can tell you for free. And so we are honored to be here as we get to celebrate the World Tourism Day or International Tourism Day, and remember, under the banner of conversations to do with inclusivity. And when we're talking about inclusivity, then the specialist should be able to tell us what exactly that means. But above everything, we now want to shift gears into understanding the aspect of business tourism. For the longest of time, the Kenyan tourism aspect has embraced leisure tourism. But, you know, we realize that there's so much that needs to be tapped into, especially when we're talking about business tourism. We have seen other African countries doing it, and out of it, they have gained so much. So South Africa, for instance, is about 20-something years into business tourism, and it is doing so well. Rwanda, about 5 years into it, and oh, that's the reason why you'll hear many people always saying, they know what, Rwanda is good, Rwanda is clean, Rwanda has done so much. Why? It's because they go there for conferences. It's because they go there for exhibitions. And you know, when they get to see the beauty of Rwanda, they go out there and speak volumes of the same. Egypt is trying so hard to pick up into this. Uganda as well has, you know, joined in towards making sure that they embrace business tourism. Ethiopia as well says, you know, we're not going to be left behind. Morocco as well has said so. And we as a country are about 2 years into pushing so hard the aspect of business tourism. It's not that it's not been there, it's been there, but we've not put so much resources and energy and knowledge and coming up with policies to make this work. And so for this conversation, Jacinta Nzioka, who is the CEO, Kenya Convention Bureau, joins us. First of all, she will be telling us what Kenya Convention Bureau is and what it deals with, and importantly, under what entity? Is it the tourism entity? Is it the aspect of trade? That is in the boost of business tourism. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for creating time this morning.
Thank you.
It is your day.
Thank you. It is a World Tourism Day, and we are celebrating inclusivity in tourism. Yeah.
And yes, of course, so you hugely a part of this.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Yes, and it's a world celebration. So each country has their own celebrations. Here in Kenya, in most of the regions, there are celebrations with different themes, both national government and county governments, and private sector associations. Yeah.
This coming at a time when you know we are talking about inclusivity for growth of tourism, and therefore numerous sectors are supposed to come in together to make sure that there's a boost in the tourism sector at a point of COVID-19. What would you make of this year of COVID-19 or years of COVID-19, because it's 2020 now, we're going into 2021 and it's not ending anytime soon?
Linda, you're right. During this period, of course, tourism has faced challenges like any other sector. And more so because it involves travel. And when you have restrictions and you're not able to travel, then there lies in your first biggest challenge. But despite this, we've taken this as a time to be able to really review and relook at the sort of packages that we have in this country. For the Kenya Convention Bureau, if I may say, this has been a formative stage for us. And it has been a period where we've engaged with the private sector to be able to come up with strategies and direction and roadmaps that will work in the period of COVID, because nobody knows when it's going to be over. So we are talking about policies and procedures and directives that will be able to work during a period that is uncertain and a period that is faced with new challenges. So in terms of inclusivity, we are looking at a brand, a maize brand for Kenya that is sustainable. And sustainable in a way that it includes not only just sitting at a conference room to attend a meeting, but also being able to interface with the local communities, with the nature, with conservation, with the environment in the area where you visit, and being able to add value to that environment, maybe in interactions with the communities and also in preservation and conservation of nature. Yeah.
And also, even before we get to understand more of Kenya Convention Bureau, you speak of MICE. Has been in existence. Maybe that's why today we talk of how we can restore the same or restoring the MICE subsector. How huge is the aspect of MICE and how instrumental is it, you know, when we're talking about tourism and the boost of business tourism?
You know, when you talk about MICE, MICE means meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions. Meetings are, of course, you know, both government, private sector, where you go, strategy, corporate, everybody having meetings within or without their area. Incentives, on the other hand, are more to do with corporates motivating their employees, getting out there to be able to reassemble or talk about re-strategizing and being able also to reward best performance. So it is an incentive to corporates. So this is also coupled with conferences. Conferences and mostly we look at associations that have annual conferences. For instance, if you're an accountant, you're a member of a local association in your region, in your country, then in the international aspect. So you have many conferences that you can attend within a year. This could be held anywhere. So that is a different sort of subsect that we are targeting. And then the E stands for events and exhibitions. Events could be both business events and also social events, even sports events. And the events, trickle-down effect for events is really beyond tourism because it's up to banking and ICT. All the sectors are involved in this and transport. So the whole aspect of MICE is bigger than tourism. And that is why we say MICE is more than tourism. It is not just about going to a nice, beautiful hotel or visiting the park or going to the beach. It also involves research. Because when you attend a conference, say on a medical conference, you're learning about trends in your sector. You're also sharing, and you're able to also develop the capacity of the area of the professionals that you visit. So it is beyond. It's really a bigger aspect in terms of trickle down effects than just tourism and hospitality.
And I know we'll get deeper into that, but first, now that we started by saying the Kenya Convention Bureau, then one would want to understand if MICE is bigger than that, and that is what Kenya Bureau or Kenya Convention Bureau is advocating for, then this will be under what entity?
Okay, the entity, the Kenya Convention Bureau, is a national government agency established 2 years ago under the Ministry of Tourism. So the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife is our parent ministry in the State Department of Tourism. And CS Honorable Balala is the one who gazetted the formation of this agency. And all the policies, directives, budgets are aligned with the Ministry of Tourism, including the direction of the National Tourism Blueprint that guides how tourism is going to be developed, promoted, marketed in this country up to 2030. So we are guided under the policies of the Ministry of Tourism. And why is this so? Because it is an activity that involves movement. It is an activity that involves the hospitality sector, tourism and transport and travel. And now it brings up the other sectors in terms of themes of what exactly we are doing. So it is in the right place. And when you look at most other countries, that is the right place where it is placed. Mostly, a lot of times it is a separate entity or within working together with the national tourism boards of those organizations, those countries. So the Convention Bureau's mandate is to market Kenya, as a maize destination.
Uh-huh.
Starting from development of the maize product, the infrastructure, advisory to government and private sector on what sort of investment is suitable for maize, up to management of the same sector, working with service providers to ensure there is professionalization of the sector, to ensure that the meetings industry is certified in a way that it reassures the world that we are able to host meetings, up to marketing and promoting of the sector, both locally, regionally, and also internationally. Yeah.
All right. Before we even get to know how then, well, after marketing, we make sure that this is culminated to a level where then we're going to find results, that we're going to host this conference as in return, and that it's not going to be sheer marketing. There's the aspect of trade then. So how do you connect to trade ministry to make sure that, well, this is realizable? Because then I would want to believe that if it's tourism, that's an angle of tourism, but hugely it comes in to boost the trade industry.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. First of all, the Ministry of Trade and Industry is represented on our board. We have the PS who sits on our board of directors, and he is there for a purpose.
Okay.
Trade directs where the investments that the country goes into, and also gives an opportunity for people in the meetings industry, our industry, to focus on what is currently happening globally. So for instance, if you look at manufacturing, we could look at what conferences globally are happening around manufacturing, and then we focus on what sort of manufacturing do we want. And the trade ministry, which is represented around the world, representing Kenya, being able to work with other governments and other investors to come into the country, are a bridge for us to be able to reach those people who organize meetings, who organize for conferences, and being able to bring them here. Because they're the people who interface with all the sectors. And because this is not just a one sectoral organization, we are able to interface with them and get and leverage on really what sort of trade activities are favorable for Kenya. Where do we have a strength? So that when we bring in people for a conference, we are able to showcase what we have done. Or where do we have a weakness? So that when we have a conference on that particular sector, we are able to learn from those that have succeeded in it. So those are the opportunities that we see and that we are able to really leverage working with the trade.
2 years into inception, I would want to believe that, yes, we've held conferences in the country, we have held exhibitions in the country. How different were we doing them, and how different as a KCB do you intend to make sure that it's going to be different and it's going to speak differently and it's actually going to encourage more of this?
Later you realize that those 2 years are the pandemic years that
again
the world has experienced. And even as other forms of tourism are affected, business tourism is affected. Corporates are downsizing. Corporates are reviewing other ways of meetings, not traveling to destinations, but holding them virtually. So those are challenges that we came in and we were able to settle in and come up with a roadmap. So within these 2 years, what we've been able to do, number one, we are setting up an organization from scratch. Policies, procedures, HR instruments, being able to come up with a roadmap, even to engage with the players, and being able to bring them together. Stakeholders in the meetings industry are diverse and they go beyond tourism. You have even people who own tents. You have those who, arrange flowers at an event. Those who provide AV equipment, ICT. So being able to bring all those together with the venues and the meeting planners themselves has been one of our key priorities, and we've been able to do so. We've been able to engage them in various parts of the country, focusing on the key regions where there are venues for meetings. Nairobi area, the coast area, Western Kenya, and now we're focusing on Naivasha and Nakuru area. So looking at establishment of those frameworks is what has kept us busy over those 2 years. We've come up with a 10-year strategy blueprint, which we are calling the Kenya MICE Blueprint 2030. Within these 10 years, it's very clear what we are going to be doing as a destination. We need, number one, as I said, in investment in MICE. Proper convention centers that are state of the art, that, you know, align with the needs of today's meetings, especially during pandemics. The other thing, of course, is other than that, is we've come up with a brand, a MICE destination brand, a brand that you can flag and get out of this country, go to corporates even within this country, and say this is what Kenya stands for, and that is what we are calling the Meet in Kenya brand. It is a brand of the Kenya Convention Bureau, and it was launched by our Minister, Honorable Balala, at the end of the last financial year in June. So now we are ready to roll. We have collateral, we have the tools of trade to be able to engage. We have become members of the meetings, the global meetings industry. We've engaged with the international conventions and congresses, associations, which I'm a deputy chair of for the African region. So we've been able to put our tentacles in the right places to engage with the globe in terms of meetings. So key for us now moving forward is to be able to actualize what we have come up with. And these plans and strategies have not been developed by ourselves in isolation from the trade. It has been an effort, an engagement with the players themselves, the private sector. They're the ones who handle our guests when they're here. They're the ones who get out there and specifically, competitively project a unique product from competition. And also the other ministries and sectors, as you said, that we have to work with. So this is a concerted effort. And moving forward now, it's about just rolling out awareness. First of all, even within the country, Kenyans need to understand what is this Kenya Convention Bureau, what entity is it? Because everything starts from
and you know, if one is not
that is why we are here today.
Which is an honor. And you know, as I speak to you, I learn so much, and I appreciate that there is another angle to viewing this. And like you rightfully put it, Kenyans probably do not understand. What would be your word to them this morning in terms of, you know, them getting to understand the importance of business tourism? Because we might just assume that, UNCTAD is coming here to set up their own general meetings, annual meetings and all that. We really do not get to sit down to understand the importance of the same. I'd personally say that, well, sometimes I do, simply because I have to report on them every other time, and I have to look at the business angle to it. But a majority of us do not know. In fact, you will hear complaints of, they have closed the roads, what, and everything. This is inconveniencing us. How important are they?
Now, what you've talked about is really important, because we are serving Kenyans. So if it doesn't make sense for them, then there is a problem. And that is why we have to make sure that they fully understand and appreciate the role of these meetings. I'll talk about two things. Anyone is a generator of a meeting into their country or into their region. Why I'm saying this is because we are people who associate professionally, even in social settings where there's a possibility of having, even within regions. Schools go every year, for visits. Counties should be able to pitch and compete for where these meetings and where these, trips are going to, because it means a lot to them. There is involvement of all the sectors, where when a meeting or a conference is happening in your area, it is beyond the venue. The hotels are benefiting, the taxi people are benefiting, the suppliers into these hotels, the people who supply AV equipment, everything, they benefit from this. So for every Kenyan, wherever they are, and especially those in professional associations, they are able to bring a meeting into this country. Our role then, as a Kenya Convention Bureau, is to be able to support pitching of meetings. For instance, you go to an International Journalists Association meeting in Las Vegas, and you hear the next meeting is going to be held in 2025. You should be able to put up your hand and say, we are ready to host it in Kenya. And as a convention bureau, we will work with you to put together a proposal, a proper sales kit to be able to convince your international association to come in. Those are huge numbers. And then you also have an African association, then you have an East African association. Those are layers of 4 meetings just from you. That is the sort of thing that we are telling Kenyans, you have a role to play. And we as a government agency have the mandate to support you. Some of these meetings, you have to pay a huge subvention fund to be able to host it. This is where we come in. Some of these, you need a letter from a top office reassuring your association that they will be taken care of. That is where we come in. And also being able to pull together an organizing team for you as a player to be able to professionally host this meeting. That is the sort of thing that we are talking about. So when you have big meetings like UNCTAD, GES coming here and the roads are closed, totally understand that, but it is because of the infrastructure. There are countries you travel to for a big international meeting and there's no difference. You don't even feel it's ease. It is because of the infrastructure. MICE infrastructure has to be right for MICE to work. And that is what we are talking about.
Capacity building.
Exactly.
I am sure we need to talk much about this, the aspect of capacity building, the fact that it's a competitive space. How then do we come in to take all these meetings from South Africa, which has been in existence, doing this actively for close to 20-something years? I know there's so much that we can get from you. And like you rightfully put it, I'm glad that there's a blueprint. And I'm sure there must be some level of adjustments that have been put to the blueprint after COVID-19.
Yes, because it was developed during COVID, so you can imagine.
So you can imagine.
COVID cognizant.
Well, with all protocols of the World Health Organization observed. Madam Jacinta, I think it's only fair that we take a quick breather, we sip some tea, and then we come back and expound some more on that very conversation. Remember, we're here courtesy of Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel, sitting right at the heart of Tsavo East National Park at the Voi Safari Lodge, the Pearl of Tsavo East. Tsavo East itself is the theater of the world, where you come and get to enjoy the best of nature, the best of animals that we have around, the big five. I have had a chance to do that, and I can only tell you it is important that you take that moment to come and do it. For the locals, as cheap as 500 bob, then you're able to tour and have a proper game drive that will allow you to see some of these animals that you only see in books. Unasoma from class 1 and you probably have never seen a lion, yet you stay somewhere close around Voi town. It is wrong. So take advantage of this. Let's push for our tourism industry to make sure that we are able to revive the same. So we take a short break, and we also acknowledge the contribution of Pacific Realty on making sure that our trip to Tsavo National East is indeed a success, and our stay here all the way to Friday.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi mbili tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste
Well, we're still here celebrating the International Tourism Day, the 27th day, 27th or 21st day of September. The month is running so fast. It's 27th actually. September, we just started September the other day. I remember while I was on set saying, oh, it's the first day of September, and excited, and boom, we are on the 27th day of it, especially celebrating tourism. I know last year it wasn't the same because, you know, there were restrictions, the hotels were closed, and so we could not get the advantage and the pleasure of doing this, but we're glad that we're taking baby steps towards reviving this conversation, and therefore in style we are doing it right here, courtesy of Morning Cafe, courtesy of TV47 and Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotels. And we also do not forget Pacific Realty, who's also been a sponsor in this particular journey of celebrating the World Tourism Day. And we make it the World Tourism Week because we'll be here for the better part of the week up until Friday, still having a conversation with the CEO of Kenya Convention Bureau, that is Madam Jacinta Nzioka, as we also get to understand how we incorporate the aspect of inclusivity, you know, for growth. That is this year's theme, and making sure that the business sector in the country, business tourism for that matter, is revived under the banner of MICE, and making sure that this then works towards the generation of revenue. It is possible, and the aspect of capacity building is really, really crucial in this. And therefore, Madam Jacinta, coming back to you, it is quite a competitive space that we have to acknowledge. And I think I started by saying that South Africa has been doing this, you know, actively in a different way. You have set up this bureau, you know, just 2 years into it, with hopes and believe that, you know, it is going to hugely come in to contribute to this. How do you intend to beat the big brothers?
Thank you, Linda. Yeah. First of all, I want to say that Kenya has been doing business tourism for many years. We've actually, KICC is the oldest convention center in the sub-Saharan Africa. And it hosted the first World Bank international meeting in 1974. So that is a flagship that we as Kenya boast about and say that we have been this along. The issue with business meetings, and you know, every industry has its cycles, every industry has its trends, is to treat it separate from leisure tourism, because the value chain is different. The players, the stakeholders are totally different. This does not involve just tour operators, travel agencies like leisure does. It involves those plus meeting planners, their venues, their event organizers that are not perhaps involved in leisure. And so when you talk about a country like South Africa, number one, they went into investment in the MICE infrastructure, convention centers. Every province has world-class, you know, most world class. Some in very close proximity to the other, world class convention centers. We have one international convention center in Kenya. I'm glad now with the devolution, we are seeing county governments and investors coming together to come up with proper convention centers in their regions. Hotels in this country also are really evolving into coming up with excellent smaller convention facilities. South Africa's National Convention Bureau was established about 25 years ago, and with the sole purpose of increasing meetings in Kenya. That is your key mandate. You definitely be able to do so. So they have been ranking top since 20 years ago, together with Egypt and Morocco. Now, a newer entrant about 5 years ago, called Rwanda, our next door neighbor, established their bureau, and since then they have been able to even overtake Kenya in terms of the number of association meetings. I talk about association meetings because these are the ones that you really have to go pitching for and getting, as I explained to you, all those layers of meetings into your country. Then there is government-to-government meetings. Those mostly are handled, you find Ministry of Foreign Affairs involved. And there are others that by rotational basis, they must be held in your country as a member state. Those ones are not those ones,
not the target.
Those ones are there. But what we need to do is to go look for those new meetings that can go anywhere, that don't need to come to Kenya, but they can go, to whichever continent. That is our business. And that is why I said our roadmap, our strategy will involve actively pitching for these meetings and being able to professionalize the local players here to be able to get those meetings. As government, we could promote, we could support them, we could position the destination, but we need someone who is going to be working with those associations out there as a business player. So being able to professionalize the sector. There are some certifications that they need to acquire. There is some sort of engagement with international associations where they need to get into so that they are able to work on those meetings. There are meetings that cannot be held or organized by a player who is not a member of a certain international association. It's like telling a doctor to practice and they don't have their certification. It's impossible. So those are some of the things that we have put in our strategy to be able to do in the very immediate period, so that we get the sector, entrenched fully into the global meetings industry.
Good. The private sector, how hugely is it being involved on this one? I know you mentioned that aspect of making sure that we also have, the service providers that are incorporated in this conversation, making sure that the suppliers of mice are also well, engaged in this particular factor. How hugely is, the private sector incorporated, and how important?
Very, very important, the private sector. We have various associations of meetings industry players. We have the Association of Event Organizers, and then Event Managers Association of Kenya. We have the Association of Kenya Business Events, ACPE. Now, what we are doing with these members is to be able first to engage them and align ourselves as a destination. First, you realize that when there is no national entity that is coordinating the efforts of all this private sector, people don't feel gelled in terms of where we are headed. And we should be able, especially in terms of the self-regulation, being able to have the certifications, we should all be speaking the same language as Kenya, so that we are sure that every player is going to deliver as expected, and that there is no business that will be taken away from us by a South African because we are not certified. There have been event organizers, organizing events in this country, but they come from South Africa. It's because of some of those things that we are talking about. So that is the central role that we have to play in this.
And we're so excited about hosting the Safari Rally. And I spoke to Kisumu Governor, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. He's equally, he keeps talking about the
Afri-cities.
Afri-cities, yes. He keeps reminding, Linda, Afri-city, we are hosting Afri-city. I was like, okay, What about this? Just how?
That is big. Afro-Cities is big. And co-hosted by the Ministry of Devolution, the Kisumu County government has done, marvelous. Because we, as members of the local organizing committee, came up with a framework, which we call the MICE risk framework. Because we are planning this in time of pandemic, so we have to be ready and ensure that everything is in place. We have been able to work with the government and as a member of the local organizing committee, number one, to reassure the organizers that we are COVID ready. We have all the protocols in place. We have trained all the service providers, and we have facilities in the region. If you go to Kisumu now, I mean, it's amazing. The facilities are coming up at ASK grounds, and totally brand new exhibition area is being set up at the ASK grounds in Kisumu for this meeting. That is how important it is. Yes. It is a government initiative, and the county government has really invested in this, and that just shows what a meeting can do.
That's true.
When this exhibition facility is constructed, Afro-Cities will be gone. They will leave the legacy, and this facility will be holding other meetings and other events. So that is a sort of meetings and events that will leave legacy in the country, because it is not just a one-off. You sit somewhere and disappear. There's other things that happen after that, especially with regards to local government, because it's involving local governments, and it is international, having guests from around the world at really high-ranking level. And so this also reassures the world that Kenya is open for business.
Wow.
And that is a good positive image boost for the destination and for the region.
And how hugely the benefits of the same will trickle down to other counties across there.
Exactly.
I know Vihiga will benefit hugely.
Kakamega, yes. And they have facilities, they have nice hotels, venues, they have attractions. So as guests come for meetings, delegates will always want to see outside of their hotel. And research tells us that 40% of all the business delegates who go for a conference, 40% of them within 3 years will return to the destination as a leisure traveler.
Oh, nice.
So you can imagine what this does. You will attend that as a delegate from Costa Rica. In 3, 4, 5 years, you come back with your family or with your friends. That is the long-term positive impact of business travel.
Without doubt, I came here for business, I came here for work, but without doubt,
you will come back with your family.
I will come back with my little boy.
Yes.
There is no question about it.
That is the beauty with business tourism.
That's true. Jacinta Nzioka, CEO, Kenya Convention Bureau, it was good speaking to you this morning. Keep up the good work, as we hope that, again, we're going to achieve the aspect of inclusivity across for growth. All right, on that note, we close on this conversation. There's still more coming your way. We'll be talking to Chef Ireri. I'm sure he must be mad at me because I have not introduced him. I have not said anything to him. He wants to show us what it is that he's preparing for us this morning. And so in a few, we'll be having a conversation with him. And also later on, we'll be having a director from KWS just to see to it that we understand how best as a country, and the government is doing much in terms of making sure that there's that synergy towards resuscitating the tourism sector. But before we get to enjoy all that, we have Nyolo dancers. They've been entertaining us for the better part of the morning. And again, we take them up to make sure that at least we get to enjoy the best of this. Freddie later on will be giving us some bit of music. Remember, we are here up until 10 a.m. All this courtesy of the Kenya Safari Lodges and East National Park, and we're sleeping at Voi Safari Lodge, and it is a great honor, I must tell you. There's so much that we've seen. We've really enjoyed the breeze and the best of the aspect of tourism. But remember, we're speaking about the aspect of inclusivity, and so as we say, you're coming here for leisure, make sure that also we bring on board lots of conferences, lots of summits, lots of exhibitions. Make sure that we tap into what it is that we have as we celebrate this week of tourism. I know it's tough because of the unprecedented times of COVID-19, but we soldier on. We do not give up. Top 3 of the drivers of the economy, not just in Kenya, but most of the African countries, is the aspect of tourism. And therefore, it is incumbent upon us. It is our duty to make sure that in our own small capacity, we push towards making, tourism sector grow at another level. And therefore, the Nyolo dancers are here for us. Chef, so.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful on what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information. Whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top, the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet and Jackie, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Our version of Kilimo Diaries is different. Crops, livestock, all working together. Everything has a purpose, from land preparation, management, and not forgetting the market space. No farmer puts down his tools, and neither do we. Your Farmer's Daily Diary with Sandra Wahito every Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
All right, here we are, and different setup. The chef is here. He's been on standby since morning. Mise en plan, all set for a breakfast. You know, a pretty simple but nutritious Voi Safari Lodge breakfast. Chef Iredi is with us this morning alongside his team. He's going to be introducing them. Alafu watatuambia pia what it is that they are preparing for us. Chef, nimekuweka sana.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
Madam Linda.
Asante.
This is a Voi Safari Lodge. You are with Chef Iredi,
Yes.
one of the senior chefs in Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel.
Nice.
Currently based here in Voi, doing what I do best.
Yeah. I have eaten your food. Hata kama ni mara moja ama mbili. Oh, you do it best.
Thank you. And today I want to make a very simple Kenyan breakfast.
Right.
Taking care of the ladies, their fingers, and also taking care of your son and the big boy in the house. So be assured, you are going to get the very best. And with me,
yes,
I have my upcoming chef,
right,
Lamsi, and I have my waiter,
right,
Joseph. And we are ready to give the quality and commitment service, always here at the Voi Safari Lodge.
So this is what I'm going to be enjoying this morning.
Yes.
You know, I'm keen to understand why you're saying that you've taken care of the ladies and and taken care of my boys.
Yes. I have natural yogurt with the pumpkin seeds and cucumber. I'll be talking the magic in it.
All right. I'll be waiting eagerly to know what the magic is there. Mimi hata nashangaa tena pumpkin seeds people eat. Anyway, that is for him to explain. So what exactly are we preparing? I can see we have potatoes.
Now I'm trying to make sweet potatoes.
Okay.
You know, breakfast is one of the meal that should be very wholesome.
Yes.
It shouldn't touch the heart and the mind and
Okay.
the soul. So I'm making sweet potatoes.
All right.
And I'll serve these sweet potatoes with omelette, Spanish omelette.
All right.
And with latatu vegetables, which are very comfortable with your stomach for the whole day.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need ukiwa kwa safari. Driver simama kidogo, latatu will take care of that.
That's true, because most of the safaris we start in the morning. So it is good that we get to understand what latatu breakfast is all about. Sometimes, you know, these chefs, but
not latatu breakfast.
Yeah, latatu vegetables. Yes, that's what, the vegetables.
Yeah, yes.
And then we'll be having a lot of zinc here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to understand more of this. I guess that's where I'll be getting my breakfast from. Nimekunywa chai kidogo lakini haijanitosha.
I'll serve you just right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why we have Joseph, right?
Okay.
Karibu na ndovu nikikula polepole, lakini haitanifikia najua. Asante sana.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to that, and so in about 20 minutes or thereabout, we'll be coming back to you. But of course, on standby, we have the director KWS, Assistant Director KWS, and he's already seated here on standby. So we get to the conversation of understanding what KWS is doing. You know, they are the heart of tourism. They are the main people who are always there taking care of the people, the communities around the parks, but above everything our animals and the parks, making sure that they are set, well conserved and all that. And you cannot talk matters tourism in the country and fail to engage KWS officers. And so we're getting to this conversation with Captain Kenneth Ochieng. Captain Kenneth, as earlier mentioned, is the KWS Assistant Director of Savo Conservation Area. And we're looking forward to hear from him in terms of what is being done, in terms of the sensors, in terms of, taming poaching, in terms of making sure that our animals, have the best environment. I know it's a drought season and it's something that is draining us hugely. And especially now with COVID-19, it is kind of, shaking the tourism sector, shaking our parks. But we all hope that, with the kind of knowledge that they have amassed over years, then we can be able to get solutions and answers to the same. So, Captain, it's a pleasure to have you this morning. Asante sana for creating time. All right, and we go straight to the point. It's World Tourism Day. How significant is this day to you?
Well, Linda, this day is very significant to us, and particularly to Kenya Wildlife Service, because basically the day was set aside to create an awareness on what tourism does in terms of considering the role it plays on social, cultural, political and economical values of the global community. So it is an important event for us, and it is celebrated yearly on a day like today, 27 September, every year.
Right. Yes. And as we celebrate this day, what would be your report of the Savos, the north, the west and the east?
Well, what I would say is that for quite some time, tourism has been doing very well until we were hit by the pandemic. And Savo being a unique protected area, actually it is the largest protected area in the entire republic. All the protected areas cover the landmass of about 80% in the whole republic, and Savos takes care of the 4 or 50% of the total landmass.
Okay.
An area of close to 22,000 square kilometers.
Wow.
So it's a huge ecosystem that has diverse tourism opportunities. We have all the big fires in the Savos. We have various attraction sites that you'll find only in the Savos and not other places, both in Savo West and Savo East. Well, with a day like today, we really want to put it across to the global world that yes, Savo has what it takes. Unfortunately, it has not been exploited to the maximum. And the pandemic has really caused a big hit because some of the opportunities and some of the attractions that we have are not exploited to the maximum, if I may say so. Yes.
What stops us from exploiting the same?
The numbers have really gone down. If you compare the visitation that we had in the past years, the pandemic has seriously hit us hard, and we are seeing a serious decline in terms of visitation, especially the foreign tourism. We are realizing that it is high time that we now have to embrace domestic tourism, which has kept us going since the pandemic hit us last year. So we believe that we have now to adapt to the new way of doing things, the new normal, to be able to keep ourselves afloat.
All right. Yes. That's amazing. What is the role then of KWS in this? I know we always say, oh, KWS. We probably have not been keen to understand the role of this huge entity in regards to making the best of tourism.
Yeah, KWS has a mandate, and one of our missions is to sustainably conserve and protect wildlife in the entire republic in collaboration with the stakeholders for posterity. This is a role that is entrenched in the Constitution, and we really respect it. We manage all the protected areas in the whole republic, and we do give an opportunity to various stakeholders, communities, all other conservation partners, because some of these things you cannot do them on your own. You must embrace partnership. And that is why in our strategic plan of 2019-2014, a 5-year strategic plan, we have 3 pillars, of each one of them covers an aspect of partnership, collaboration. We must work with other partners to be able to achieve what other pillar talks of enterprise. Because by the end of the day, we must find a way of generating income. This you cannot do on your own. You must bring everybody on board. And we have done it for quite some time. We've worked very closely with the partners. We've worked very closely with communities. And we support initiatives that are done by communities that can be able to promote tourism activities within their areas. We've also allowed investments into the protected areas, where we allow people to set up hotels, lodges that can be able to activate tourism activities in our PAs, protected areas across the country.
You know, I had the Member of Parliament here, and his hugest concern would be on the crisis, the wildlife-human crisis that is in existence. How much has that, affected the growth of tourism, and what is being done towards stemming the same? Because it's been in existence for quite a while.
Yes, matters of human-wildlife conflict is real. As you know, Tsavo is one of the biggest conservation area. In Kenya, we have divided most of our conservation areas into 8 blocks, Tsavo being one of them, and as the largest number of wildlife population. We did the wildlife census a few months ago, and significantly we've seen our numbers growing. And this is as a result of the wildlife security or enforcement that we've put in place to be able to contain aspects of poaching and other illegal activities. This also has now realized or increased the numbers. And as you know, the climate change is real. It is here with us. We have also had our own way of doing things. There is a lot of infrastructural development that is happening. So as an institution, we have devised ways to be able to mitigate on some of these human-wildlife conflict. And some of the things that we are doing very closely with most of our partners and stakeholders is to ensure that we restore some of the degraded areas, but outside the protected areas and within the protected areas. We are also involved in matters of developing some master plan, especially within the ecosystem, that can help us be able to assess the level of effects outside development, outside the protected areas that might result to maybe blockage of corridors, wildlife corridors, that could allow free movement of wildlife from one protected area to the other, especially from Tsavo East to Tsavo West and eventually to Mkomazi, because that's a migratory route. So we're working very closely to ensure that some of those blocked corridors, how do we mitigate on them? We are doing all we can in terms of providing fences, wildlife fences, which we are very optimistic that can be able to mitigate on some of those conflicts. We're also doing a lot of conservation educational awareness programs so that we reach out and pass over the right information to the neighbors of the protected area so that they can harmoniously coexist with wildlife. Wildlife have been here long enough, more than even us, but because of our land use practices, we do development with no regard to that, no regard to those migratory routes. We change our, land use patterns. Areas that were traditionally maybe livestock grazing and wildlife areas are now being converted to even farming activity. Automatically they provide an avenue for wildlife getting attracted to some of those farmland. So we are working very closely to inform them to do the best farming practices, if that is what they have to do, that can blend very well with conservation. They do things like beekeeping and even sunflower farming, which can repel back any of those problematic animals. So it's quite a lot of engagement, but this have to be done in a holistic way. So we engage all the key major stakeholders in this process.
And do you suppose the communities are receiving this well, and have we made gains towards,
Absolutely. You see, some of these things, you cannot realize them if you don't do public participation. We do a lot of public engagement, a lot of educational awareness, and that's when now you realize some of these interests and concerns and find a way of how you can be able to address them. There's a lot of problems across. You see, the climate change, as I mentioned, is a major factor. We've seen most of our rivers drying up. We've seen, people having problems with the water in most of their areas. So the little water that is available within the protected areas might not be enough for wildlife, and eventually they move out. So what are we doing as an institution? We are working on possibility of harvesting rainwater.
Okay.
So we do a lot of water ponds, water dams, and even sand dams, both inside the protected areas and outside in community areas. As I mentioned, Tsavo is one of the biggest conservation area. Remember, we are neighbored by almost 7 counties.
Yeah.
And every county wants a stake.
Of the same.
Yes. So you have to handle every county depending on their problems and the issues. So within the Taita Taveta County, we have close to over 33 conservancies and private ranches that have wildlife in them. So we've been working very closely with some of those conservancies just to make sure that anything that might result to human-wildlife conflict, we address it communally or together as a team.
Oh, amazing. So then there must be some level of uniqueness that the Tsavos or the Tsavo parks they would have towards making sure that, you know, they are a great tourism destination. What is this key that you would, you know, pinpoint at?
Yeah, Tsavo is very unique, and to start with, Tsavo is one of the areas that has the largest population of wildlife across the Republic. Just recently we did a wildlife census, as I mentioned, and the number of elephants, the biggest population of elephant was found in the Tsavos, close to 14,964.
Yeah. Sometimes back it was 30.
Yes, those years back. Yes. And then we went through a situation of poaching season, and that was contained. But the recent past, we've been seeing significant growth of wildlife population due to some of the security measures that we put in place. And that has resulted to the increase of the growth of the wildlife population. That in itself is amazing. You come to the Tsavos, you see wildlife all over. And I mean, if you visit the 3 protected areas within the Tsavo conservation area, that is Tsavo East, Tsavo West, and the Chulu National Park, they're unique in their own ways. Tsavo East has the largest plateau in the within the region.
Within the region,
stretching to close to about, close to almost 290 kilometers, all the way from Oldonyo Sabuk mountain up to the largest, almost to the boundary of Tsavo Eastern Galana. It's a unique plateau that you cannot see anywhere within the Eastern and Central Africa.
Okay.
Within Tsavo East, or rather the 2 protected areas, we have the highest number of the black rhino population.
Okay.
Go to Tsavo West, we have a rhino sanctuary, which you'll find we've grown our population to almost 5% per year. We're now getting to almost the ecological carrying capacity. So there are plans to be able to destock, but it's a unique area that you cannot find anywhere, unless probably in the private ranches. But in any of the protected areas under the government management, Tsavo West is unique. Tsavo West is the only park that is associated and famously known for the land of lava, springs, and the man-eaters. You go to Tsavo West, it is the only place that you have a natural springs that serves the entire coastal region in terms of water supply. The Muzima Springs, a unique attraction that you cannot find anywhere in the Republic. There is also the Shetani lava, the most recent erupted volcanic lava, with the caves. That cannot be found anywhere. In terms of cultural tourism, the Rima or Mudanda Rock in Tsavo East, it's associated with the Taitas. It is said when those days when we are in a dry season, they go and consult their gods, and that's when we get rains.
There.
Yes, the Mudanda Rock is a unique feature, and the Lugard Falls in Tsavo East. Where
I didn't manage to get to the Lugard, but I will before I go. I will.
A nice waterfall with the water rapids and a big population of hippos and crocodiles. At the basement of the waterfall. So Tsavo is unique in its own way. You cannot find some of these features anywhere else, and for sure it is one of the places that people need to visit. People need to come over and see some of those unique features that we have within the Tsavo conservation area. Tsavo West is also one of the transboundary national park that borders Kenya and Mkomazi, and we do a lot of transboundary engagement with our counterparts on the other side of Tanzania.
Amazing. And so any conservation and park initiatives that are there that are a little bit different?
Quite a lot. quite a lot that we are doing as a Savo conservation area. We just did the census recently, a few months ago, and every year we do night census for the black rhino population. You know, they are very, very territorial and shy, and most of the opportunities are only gotten during, dry season, when there is full moonlight.
So the census is not done?
For the rhino specifically, we do it at night.
Okay.
That's the time you can be able now to physically count and be able to identify individual population. They come at night. During full moon time, we are able to establish the numbers. We are able to identify each and every individual, and we do them every year during the dry spell season, because that's when now we have limited water points, and obviously they have to converge at certain specific water points within the sanctuary. So we do that every August, September, and October. So we just did the last one a few days ago in Guli Rhino Sanctuary, and that's one of the initiatives that we do, just to be able to determine our population around and be able to check how they are progressing. We are doing quite a number of conservation initiatives around, because last year we were hit very hard by the fire season because of the drought. So we are currently doing a lot of fire breaks. Fire breaks management in most of the protected areas, so that we can be able to manage in case we have any of those accidental fires in the parks. And the same fire breaks serve as tourist and even security circuits within those protected areas. We are also doing a lot of community engagement and collaboration with most of the community members. We do a lot of awareness through local media, FM, so that we get out to the right people, the right population that needs this kind of information. We reach out to them through the local FM station, so that we create an awareness and the importance of conserving some of these areas. So quite a lot of that collaboration is done. And then we reach out even to school-going children, where we organize for ESA programs, so that at least we start to grow some of this population to a level that when they grow up, they can be able to understand what is it that it entails conserving some of these special species or our heritage in general. So those ones are done in collaboration with our educational department. We do a lot of engagement with the county government, all government agency, because most of the things you cannot do in isolation. So we do a multi-sectoral approach kind of engagement, so that we be able now to have serious and significant impact on some of these activities that we do, because as I mentioned, one of our pillars is collaboration and conservation. So you cannot work on your own. So this is done more regularly, just to make sure that we are talking the same language as national and county government. And as I mentioned, Savo West sits at the boundary with our counterpart on the other side. There's a lot of transboundary engagement.
That's great.
That is done more frequently, because sometimes, as you know, the boundary is porous. There's quite a lot of illegal activities that may happen. And if it is not contained and there is no talking kind of arrangement between the two parties, sometimes it becomes very difficult to be able to contain some of those illegal activities.
And that would then be opening ways to poaching. How hugely have we managed to tame this?
We've done our best.
You didn't say anything about elephant naming.
Of course, sorry for that. Elephant naming is one of the activities that we are doing to be able to have people associated and probably blend with some of the population that we have. When we name an elephant, definitely you have to take care of it as a foster parent. So that will now give you some attachment. And it is not for free. There is an attachment that is given to that kind of naming. So we expect somebody also to support conservation in that manner. And not only to the elephant naming, but we also do even rhino naming. Some of the rhino population that we have, if we have a newborn, of course, there are people who would want to take care of a particular newborn and invest in such a newborn. So that is one thing that we are doing as an organization, and we would want to request the Kenyan population to embrace the same, at least get that attachment. If a name is given to any of the newborns, I mean, for a lifetime, that's something
I will always be coming here.
Coming to see.
That's true.
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
Poaching.
Yes. Poaching has significantly gone down, and I think this is out of the government efforts that we've put in place. We've been doing a multi-agency security approach in some of these things. We've been doing a lot of collaboration with the national government, administrative structures, and also working closely with the judiciary. We've seen a significant decline in trophy poaching in the entire republic. We've only noticed, few instances out of the situation we are in the pandemic, where we are seeing an increase in bushmeat poaching for subsistence use, some even for commercial use. But we are managing that, we are containing that because of doing a lot of collaborative approaches with all the stakeholders involved. We're doing a lot of awareness out there and ensuring that people are told of the effect of consuming bushmeat. So this we are doing in close collaboration with the local leadership, because they are the members and the representatives. So many a times you have local leaders forums so that we be able to send across the right communication on the effect of consuming game meat. Yes.
Oh, because that is on the rise.
Yes.
Okay, so COVID-19 is here, still here. How hugely is KWS Incorporated or involved in making sure that it helps hugely on resuscitating the tourism sector or just reviving the tourism sector?
Yes, I agree with you. The pandemic has seriously affected tourism sector. We've seen a serious decline in our revenues. Our visitation levels have really gone down. We've seen those aspects of bushmeat poaching picking up in some specific hotspot areas. But as an institution, we've done our best. And one of the significant things that KWS has done is to devise a policy mechanism where we've reduced our conservation fees to allow Kenyans who would want to visit most of our protected areas, and even non-Kenyans. We've seen a reduced percentage in terms of the fees, conservation fees that is paid at our entry points by almost 40%. Non-residents were paying our entry fees at about $52 per person per entry. Now it has gone down to $30.
Right.
Kenyan shillings, citizens were paying 1,000, now they are paying 500.
Right.
I believe that is a significant move that will now enable those who would wish to travel to our protected areas to be able to manage the cost of entering into the protected areas. It is a costly kind of move, I know, but for sure the economic status of most of the people are seriously affected. So that's why KWS had to take that initiative to reduce the conservation fee. We've extended the same hand to most of those who rent or lease facilities into the protected areas, so that they have been given a break to somehow for a period of a year until the end of this calendar year, 31st of December, when they can now start to remit some of the rents and leases that have been given to some of those facilities. Through the government stimulus program, KWS has been able to bring on board almost 5,000 game scouts as an opportunity to be able now to provide some source of income to the majority of the youths and the disabled in the community. I believe that's a big boost that Kenyans will appreciate and take advantage of such a move and be able now to significantly also contribute towards improving our tourism.
How far is this information penetrating to the masses? Because then I can tell you that if I wasn't doing this program, probably I wouldn't have known. It's pretty much affordable for me now to come and have a proper game drive across the Tsavo East.
We've been doing a lot of publications, publicizing some of these initiatives through the social media pages. KWS has established social media pages, both Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And even in the normal media briefs, we usually send out some of this kind of initiative that we have kind of undertaken, so that the public are made aware. We do a lot of radio programs, and even our conservation educational program have been mandated to reach out to the bigger masses to relay this kind of communication, so that Kenyans can be aware and take advantage of such an opportunity to be able to visit the protected areas. Well, not everybody has an opportunity sometimes in this pandemic to listen to such news or read through or go through the social media, but we believe that the larger masses, a majority of them being the youth, can be able to easily access some of this information through the social media.
Well put.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Captain. Your parting shots as we close, maybe your message to the people, especially in relation to the celebrations of today.
This is a special day for every one of us. I mean, it is important that we take a bit of a time and have a break and visit the natural heritage that we have as a country. Let's take that opportunity, especially now that the schools are almost closing. I would wish to extend this invite to most of the Kenyan population. We were fondly used to going to the coast for the beaches, but now that we have reduced, park fees, let's take advantage of that. Visit the protected areas, see what we have in terms of the wildlife population and the scenic beauty of most of our protected areas.
Wow, and I mean, we have so much that I must acknowledge. Sometimes unaambiwa tembea uone.
Yes.
Sio kuishi kwingi, kuna mengi, bali ni kutembea kwingi. Unaona mengi. Thank you so much once again, Captain Kenneth Oching, KWS Assistant Director, Tsavo Conservation Area. It was good speaking to you. I hope we'll have more of these engagements, just so we can get to revive our tourism sector that is not doing so well because of the unprecedented times of COVID-19. But so far, so good. Having engaged with the key stakeholders, I realize that there's so much that is being done towards making sure that this does not become a game of the past. And as earlier mentioned, we're still here, and courtesy of the Kenya Safari Lodges and Hotel, right here at the heart of the Tsavo East National Park, and sitting at Voi Safari Lodge, as they would call it. The Tsavo East is the theater of the world, and indeed you can only understand what that means if you get yourself here and get to have a view of what it is that is in store right here. And so as we're seated at the Voi Safari Lodge, we are enjoying the best of moments, and so that is to mean your safety, your enjoyment is catered for. Everything that you'd wish for when you're taking that safari is catered for right here. So make sure that you take your time, out of the usual days, like you said, to make sure that at least you get this moment, this feel, whether it's business-wise, whether it's leisure. It is really, really important that you do that. Remember, we're also here courtesy of Pacific Realty. Pacific Realty is that one construction partner that you can, put your money to. Remember, they accord you a chance of, getting to set up a construction or your own home, at least 40% less, of the amount of money that you would have planned to use. That is to mean they are bringing affordability and convenience to you. Why don't you check them out at this moment when, we all speak of affordable housing, and we speak of a secured future, in that you will have set up a structure that you will retire to, a structure that can be used, of course, to make sure that you rent them out and, get to generate revenue. We'll be having more of this, and you'll get to know what deals Pacific Realty then is offering to you, so that you don't sit there waiting until you have money to set up a structure. It is important that you look at all these arrangements that are there that are affordable, and they're pretty much easy for you to start with, and say, what, it's not a game of future. You start today to set up that structure, that investment. You can check them out on their social media platforms. We'll be having them scrolling down your screen, just so you would get to understand the options that they're offering to us. And once again, Chef Ireri is here on standby. Chef Ireri says he'll be preparing sweet potatoes. I can't remember the name of the vegetables, and we'll be having fingerlings, chicken, and there's something that he says is magical for your brothers, and it's really important that we also get to know about that. So here we are, Chef. We want to start cooking.
Yes. I'm making a very simple breakfast.
Okay.
And the concept here is to make you eat food as medicine and not to eat medicine as food.
Oh, nice.
So the nutritive part of it, I've taken a lot of care on that.
Yeah.
And also I'm trying to mix textures, flavors to bring a good taste. So that's why I'm having sweet potatoes here.
Okay.
My ratatouille vegetable.
All right.
I expect it to be like sweet and sour. And then I have an omelette, which will be very simple Spanish omelette that you can do before you leave your house to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, so karibu.
Asante sana. Breakfast should be simple, breakfast should be nutritious, and breakfast should be sweet. They say eat breakfast like a king.
Like you eat your breakfast like a king.
Yes.
And take your dinner as a pover.
So let's king ourselves for a moment. You're well, Ramsey? and Joseph once again. So we start.
Yes. When you are cooking, you start with ile kitu itachukua muda mrefu. So I'll start with my potatoes.
Okay.
As I do my potatoes, I'll be doing my chicken drums, and then I'll finish up with the omelette.
Yeah.
Because I want you to have the omelette when it's really hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So approximately how many minutes would we take to prepare this?
It will take me less than 15 minutes.
Oh.
I'm well seasoned.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, you've been doing this for the longest of time.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're not well seasoned, start preparing early. If you want to get the best of this. And I love the fact that all the nutritional value has been incorporated.
Yes.
We have the proteins, we have the carbs, that is the carbohydrates, and we also have the vitamins. That is key. And we'll also have a drink. I don't know whether he'll be preparing us juice or tea or a smoothie or yogurt. We'll get to know that as we continue.
Yeah. And also you should remember that the quality of the oil you use matters a lot. Because we are talking of good health.
Okay.
So you use olive oil or corn oil.
Yes.
Because it has less cholesterol.
Yeah. Oh, that's really, really important. And I'm glad that Chef gives us a very good thing that you're eating for health or health. You're eating food for medicine.
Food is medicine
and not medicine as food.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really, really important. Most of the
time I'm
times.
making my latter two vegetables.
Oh, these ones are set.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You start with onions because I want to nataka kustua vitunguu.
Kustua?
Ndio stoa ile flavors.
Sio flambe. Unajua flambe?
But in cooking terminology, we call it sweating.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So your onions are in. This is eggplant.
All right. Biringanya.
Biringanya.
Okay.
Yes, it's in. Unakaa ukifanya hivi.
All right.
But don't try this
at home. Don't. I agree. I always say that. Don't.
And then you have baby marrows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Courgette.
Yeah.
That's how we call it.
I think you are liking
most of
the
these.
color.
Yeah, I'm loving the color combination.
Yes.
And by the way, they say color is everything in food.
Yes. Food is taken. You take food using 3 dimensions.
Yes.
That is the psychological.
All right.
Seeing and tasting. Yeah.
Okay.
So as a good chef, you should take care of all that. The 3 aspects.
So I should look at it and say, it looks good.
Yeah.
All right, and
then
tomatoes.
Tomato. A good ratatouille cannot be good without tomato paste and oregano.
But why do you put tomato paste and you've already put tomato?
Because I want to have that glossy color.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have a lot of learning to do, Ramsey. Okay.
By the way, training a chef is equal as training a medical doctor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because then you're thinking about health.
Yeah.
Health. Okay. Oh, the color is to die for.
Yes, and then you have
oregano. Yeah. It brings in a different flavor.
To take care of the smell.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have turmeric.
Okay. And all these have great nutritional values, by the way. The spices are good. You know, sometimes we fear the spices.
And then I have white pepper to taste. And then I'll finish with a small pinch of salt.
Okay, some bit of seasoning. That is really, really important. Yeah. So all this has somehow been sauteed first.
Yes.
Right. But then remember, you don't have to have your vegetables cooked, kabisa, sindio?
Yeah.
It's advisable to have
my
them.
My vegetables are done.
Hey.
Now I'll make the omelette.
Okay.
Your sahani.
I can help. Where do I come in?
You want to cook?
I want to eat.
I'm not very sure whether you have an insurance cover.
Are you scaring me?
But in the kitchen, we only allow people who have trained.
Okay.
And who have food handlers because the safety of my food is priority number 1.
All right.
I should make sure whatever I'm serving you meet the quality of food.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, food poisoning is a no.
Yeah, because I'm not giving you food to take you to the hospital. Actually, my food should
Should
pull
be
you
medicine.
from hospital. Yeah, not the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lakini sisi I cook at home.
You cook at home, eh?
Yeah.
But at home it's okay. But
You cannot compare with commercial kitchen.
No, as we cook, because one, we cook to take care of you, and we cook because we want to make business out of food. Yeah.
Okay, so here we are.
So when you are making an omelette, it's good to also to sweat your vegetables first.
Sweat them?
Yeah, so that you can get the flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, usikata kitunguu alafu tu upachike tu.
Oh, so ikae for a while?
Yeah. Yeah.
What difference does it bring to the flavor? Okay. Oh, nice.
Do you see that? Don't try that at home.
Chef doesn't want us to be creative, and you know, one of the reasons why we always have these sessions of cooking is because we want people.
I only want you to get involved in enjoying my sweat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. So I'll be eating and enjoying that sweat, but I will also do this at home without doubt.
Yeah. So as we wait for our omelette to dry up,
the level of heat.
You need to use a
mild.
Small. We call it simmering.
Simmering.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
cooking from a low heat. So that your omelette should not burn. Because at the end of the day, you see my potatoes are burnt
somehow.
Yeah, so I will not burn the omelette because I want to give you the very best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chef.
That's for only.
Oh, don't do this at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you should think of how you present before even you start placing your food on the plate.
Okay.
So the creativity now comes in, and this is what we are paid for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Creativity. Cooking is cooking. After all, how you present it is very important.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, you already know how you're going to serve it.
Yeah, I can see my plate. And I can also see Rita enjoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
You visualize from that level. You know, every time I'm having my food somewhere, chef will always pass there. But why is that important?
You, as a chef, you know you are trying to convince your client to think and have taste like you.
All right.
Yeah.
What you were visualizing when you were making that food.
Yeah. So it's very important to know your customer and to know the need and the taste.
So you come and ask me, how do you like the food?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So that's our omelette.
Yeah, this is our omelette, and I've started presenting now.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Then I go for sweet potatoes.
The potatoes. This is for purposes of time. Sometimes it's good to prepare as you present, right?
Yeah. And then I'll go for my good
ratatouille. I know, ratatouille or ratatouille. Yeah. Oh, man, it's just nyanya, kitunguu, zucchini. But yeah, it looks really good.
And then I'll go for my wings now.
Okay.
Chicken drums.
All right. You want them a little bit wet? Oh, it's important now that you're handling like very many, You have... Okay. Oh, look at that. I'm already salivating. You have your carbohydrates, like we said. We have your vegetables that bring in the vitamins. And we have two options, or two proteins, or so to speak. The eggs and the...
Linda, there you are.
There you go.
Simple.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
The drink.
Yeah, and kindly.
I come to the other side.
Yeah.
And what happens to Nikinyongo, Bana Chef? What is not happening here? Knives and forks.
Yeah, thank you. And
then the Kikuyus in the house are asking, where is the soup? No, I'm joking.
No, in the breakfast we don't have soup.
Tell them.
Yeah, breakfast, no soup. Hey.
But we're waiting for tea and we're waiting for what else?
Now I'll be serving
potatoes. We have sweet potatoes here that represent potatoes. I'm talking to my producer just in case you're wondering, am I becoming mad? Talking to myself. She's a typical Kikuyu lady and therefore will be asking for soup. Tea or coffee? I have no idea. What do I take? Tea. I thought chef is making us yogurt or what? All right. Tea. Okay. Here we are. I'm supposed to enjoy this at this early stage without even seeing what more chef is preparing. Chef, sasa nitaona aje what you're preparing?
I will explain.
As I enjoy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to Morning Cafe. Yes, mornings are all about breakfast, and so I guess it's here. It's time for me to have my breakfast as early as now. I'm sure my producer equally is salivating on this chicken what do they call them? The fingerlings, because I don't take chicken, but all the same I'll be here. Ah, that is nice. I think by the time I'm done hosting this show, I should be big.
Yes.
Yes.
They are called chicken...
chicken what?
Chicken drums.
Chicken drums.
Yeah, because I'm taking care of your figures.
Oh,
imagine.
Thank you. Thank you. Hold them up like this. Huh?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't want you to have assault. Yeah, ile.
Alafu zinaingia hapa kwa makucha.
Breakfast ifai kuwa na soup because already umejiset kwenda kwa ofisi. You need to have something ambayo huwezi jichafua.
Let me put this down first.
And that's my yogurt. This yogurt, you can use either honey or I would prefer natural honey.
Okay.
So that ilete the magic in it.
So it is natural yogurt that doesn't have sugar, and then you put honey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
It's homemade. Yes, I made it.
Ah.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. So
you will not give us the tips?
For another day.
No, chef ni mchoyo.
Yeah. But it's very simple.
All right.
Yogurt is just a matter, just the culture you buy, and then just milk.
All right.
Or what differs is temperatures.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And,
then
time. Yeah.
And so incorporated is honey.
Honey. And then I have cucumber.
Okay.
And have pumpkin seeds.
Inside.
Yeah.
You've already put them in.
Yeah.
You can blend if you wish, but you can as well have them like this.
It's when you are making food, you must make sure that you have that aspect of there is something you are chewing.
Okay.
There is something you are swallowing. Yeah. So that combination.
Right.
Will give you the true taste of food. So you don't bread.
Do I? I cannot see cucumbers, Buan. Oh, I have seen. And my glass looks very beautiful. That's the beauty of it, you know?
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
I can see the cucumber here and the seeds. All right. The seeds are done what?
Out of 10, I've roasted them. Because I really wanted to retain the nutritive value. And I told you they do magic to boys, Yeah?
I know. What magic is this?
If you want to preserve life, you preserve life through babies.
Okay.
Yeah, and the pumpkin seeds triggers the machines, which is very important, yeah.
Okay. So I don't think we need to talk much on that. It's common sense.
It's common sense.
The zinc.
Yes.
All right, amazing.
Yes. So, karibu.
Asante, out of 10?
Out of 10, yeah.
Why did you make it out of 10? I want to make it out of 20 so I can give you a cool 19.
19 is on the higher side.
Well done.
Thank you.
You deserve that 19. You think you don't? You deserve that 19. It is amazing. For free, it is amazing. I think we're not giving it 10. We're saying 100%, and we give you 98.
Thank you. This is what we do here. And when you visit us at Voice of Valley Lodge, I promise quality and committed service and very personalized service. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is our game.
I saw you preparing something special for someone yesterday night, and I loved it.
Yeah, thank you. You see, it's always good as a chef to have a walk with your client, so that you can leave that impact, so that when he or she go, he talks about Chef Ireri.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I will remember Chef Ireri for the rest of time. Anytime I'm coming here, I'm saying, Chef Ireri Yako, is he still there? I hope I'll find you here still. You're always moving around there.
We always say chef don't die. They only furnish.
Because the cuisines will always remain in our minds.
Yes.
And you can almost eat something without eating it. Chef Ireri, asante sana.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes.
And enjoy your breakfast.
I am enjoying without doubt, and I'm loving it. There's no question about it. And remember, this is at the heart of Voi National Park.
Voi National Park, yes.
No, this is not national. This is Tsavo National Park.
Tsavo
Voi
National
Safari
Park Lodge, yes. I think the two are almost like.
They are one and the same.
Because Voi Safari Lodge,
yes,
we are in Tsavo.
You are the Pearl of Tsavo East National Park.
Yes. So ni moja tu ndani ya ingine.
Ni moja ndani ya ingine, and the magic that is in here. Watu wanatakikana watembee waone.
Yes.
That's true.
Ni muhimu.
Nimeshukuru sana.
Asante.
Pass my gratitude to Ramsey and to...
I'm training Ramsey to take over because we are retiring.
Yes.
So as a good chef, you must
vanish in style.
Yeah.
You said you don't die, you vanish.
We vanish.
All right, please mentor. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your breakfast.
All right, if I don't get Chef Ireri here the next time I'm coming, Ramsey, you better do your thing. Asante sana. And so I had a walk throughout the park. It was more of a game drive. And I'm telling you, the experience is magical. I say, call me the roving journalist, because every time I go to these different places, I go there on behalf of you, just to tell you the feel of what is out there in the ground. So when you're thinking of going to Tsavo East National Park, you already have a picture painted in your mind of what to expect. How about you join me?
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi mbili tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home, or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet and Jackie, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Our version of Kilimo Diaries is different. Crops, livestock, all working together. Everything has a purpose, from land preparation, management, and not forgetting the market space. No farmer puts down his tools, and neither do we. Your Farmer's Daily Diary with Sandra Wahito every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful on what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV 47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home, or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet and Jackie, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Our version of Kilimo Diaries is different.
Popo,
are typically African songs, and so it's deep rooted, you know, African culture. And so who are we not to enjoy the best of this at this point when we're celebrating tourism, you know, across the global fraternity, but we also acknowledge the contribution of Africa, you know, in the tourism sector. Probably 70% of it, you know, is hugely endowed in the aspect of the African continent. And so for this, we are here in a different and special way after 2020, how terrible it was. We're not able to celebrate the, you know, International Tourism Day. At least today we're doing it different. And so we still have the acrobats here. And I'm surprised that the boss of the bosses is a lady manning the men. And so tutampatia nafasi ya zungumze, salimie watu, na tuambie, you know, how it's like to have this group and what are this that they are doing in terms of generating revenue and just generally about the group. Karibu sana mama.
Habari ya asubuhi.
Asante na salama, na tunashukuru kuwa na wewe asubuhi hii. Ipo sawa sio? Iko sawa.
Habari ya asubuhi.
Kwa salama.
Hapa tuko ni Taita County. Voi Safari Lodge. So,
endelea tu wanakusikia.
Tuko Taita County Voi Safari Lodge na hawa walio hapa mbele zenu ya acrobatic group ambapo wanachezea all over Taita County.
Right.
Na we are proud of the team because wanajimanage, wanaweza kuperform. Tatizo ni kwamba we have no support. Tunang'ang'ana. We have no support as much as we are doing our best. Ni vijana wangu nashughulika nao na coordinate kwa any event. I'd like them to be there to perform. Lakini shida ni kwamba kwa sababu I think they have not been receiving any payment as such to make them at least have an attire which they can perform with. You see, when you are doing something like Taita attire ya wasichana iko tuko na traditional attire ya Taita ambapo if you put it on and do your thing, people will notice you.
And in fact, you'll help me know something small about the Taita attire now that you came here.
Yes. So Taitas, we're very proud and we are very happy to be here to be with you. Tunashukuru Mungu tuko hapa. Ni kwa sababu ya ndugu zangu hawa, vijana wangu hawa. Na wasaidia tu hapa technically, lakini wanaocheza ni wao na nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu tatizo walilo nalo ni kipato. Hawana njia nyingine. Wao wanafanya hii, wana train hii ndio kazi. So wherever they go, lazima tu negotiate, lazima tuombe, tuongee ili wapate kipato. Na inatakikana wanapolipa vizuri waweze kujinunulia uniform na kumanage maisha yao. Lakini imekuwa ngumu sana. Swala ngumu sana. Nashukuru is it K20?
TV47.
TV47.
Ndio.
Na naamini kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu from today on mambo yatabadilika.
Kweli kabisa.
Naamini hivyo kwa sababu Mungu hakuwaleta bure.
Mungu
ana sababu kuwaleta na nina imani ya kwamba mambo yatabadilika kuanzia leo. They'll be happy young men and a woman too.
That's also true. On top. Yes. I mean, they're doing a great job. And everywhere there's a mother, everywhere there's a woman, she will always be there to struggle and fight so that the family is looking good. And so Mama is here, and you know, that's an indirect call for you to support them.
Mama Feni Samba.
Mama Feni Samba.
Samba ndo majina yangu. Nimezaliwa Taita. Nikaolewa Uluyani, Western.
Nice.
Brought up from Western. That's where my home is. I'm very proud to be here because I love this place. And I came back with my husband tukajenga hapa.
Nice.
So I'm a very proud mother and I have children, have a family, a big family. That one we can talk later.
That I agree. We'll talk later indeed. And we appreciate what you're doing with this team here. I hope you can listen to the plea of Mom and, you know, do what it is that you can do best. Please, because support is really important. How do you do that? Wapatie namba ya simu kama ni ya mama wataongea.
Sorry. Our contact number, tuna namba 2 ya Safaricom na ya Airtel. 0723 389172. Airtel 0735 598809. Please, if there is any help, you can contribute to the young men.
Shikilia microphone.
To make them better their lives. Nitashukuru sana.
What form of culture can you celebrate, especially when you're coming to Kenya, without acrobats? You know, every time there's a cultural event, you know, they cream it all. You want to go there and you get the dances, the African dances, you get, you know, the beauty pageants, you get the bodybuilders, but above everything, you want to see the acrobats. So support these guys, they have done well. Thank you, wamekubali, wamekuja, wametumbuiza asubuhi hii, na kwa hilo tunashukuru sana, na tunaomba kwamba watapata support, na zaidi ya yote they will push themselves even further. Taita hata, asanti kwa kujileta hapa na kuzungumzia ili. Taita hata, hebu tuzungumzie kidogo dakika kama 2-3 kuhusiana na hata ya Taita.
Taita hata actually it is not what we have right now.
Yes. Hivyo vyote nimeng'ara tena unakuja kuharibu.
No. You're beautiful, yes, but that's not Taita hata.
What is this?
Hii inavaliwa pwani. Hii ni ya pwani.
Okay. Lakini pwani na Taita si kimoja tu. Ndio
cousins. But this is not Taita culture.
All right.
Taita attire we have our own.
All right, which is what, how does it look?
If you arrange, you can do it.
Guys, yes. Sasa wewe mama ulikuwa wapi kuja kuharibu maneno namna hii?
No, that's the truth.
Okay, all right.
That's the truth. We have our own attire and we're very proud of it.
All right.
We can make msichana, a girl look beautiful and we beautify her.
Paint a picture of what we should have worn today. Unajua mimi nilifikiri basi niko Taita land, kwa hiyo sasa haya ndo maneno.
This is
the coastal region. Lakini ni nzuri pia, sio?
But Taita attire, there should be some, I don't know what to call it, shanga hizi.
Ndio.
Alafu hapa
ni shanga tu nilikosa, lakini si eti kwamba
dressing hii si yetu.
Bwana. Yenyo ni ipi?
Iko siwezi kuambia saa hizi.
Kwa nini? Waambie watu wana watch.
Kuna saa hizi hapa.
Lazima tuione hivi.
Hata mimi vile navaa kwa sababu napenda tu kwa kama kwetu pwani. Maana nimekaa pwani sana. So I normally like dressing like this because I'm happy and it makes me happy. But if I want to sit, I can sit comfortable. But when you dress like this, when you go somewhere, you can't sit.
Bwana, mbona nimekaa chini vizuri sana. Hiyo miaka ya nyuma walikuwa wanavaa fupi kiasi hichi, alafu hata hivi jamani.
Yategemea uko wapi.
Okay. Kama kuna wazee karibu inatakana ukwe na ndefu kidogo.
Kama taka leo kwangu, please don't dress like this.
Sasa wewe mama tena umekuja kuharibu hapa. Kisa na maana.
Sasa we have given everything. My son wataona wapi?
Mimi nafikiri session tumalizie.
Ameharibu. Thank you.
Asante sana. Tumeshukuru sana.
Kuna tena siku nyingine mrudi.
Zaidi.
Nashukuru sana.
Asante sana. And so here we are. Well, I know I look good. Wajana mama maneno yake ngumu. Anyone, nani atazungumza kitu kidogo? Kusalimia watu before we go to the other side. We have the Nyolo dancers on standby as well. I think watataka kuwasalimia watu as we wind up here.
Kwa majina naitwa
azungumza na microphone hapa basi.
Naitwa Philip Ndovu. Naisi furaha. Napenda
Ndovu, tafadhali microphone hiyo hapo. Unapenda kuentertain watu
Napenda kuentertain. Kwa hii crew yetu kuna changamoto hapa na pale, lakini tunapambana nazo tu hivyo. Tuko na talent mob sana, tunafanya martial arts, hiyo acrobat dancing zote tunafanya, lakini sasa support ndio tunahitaji, tunaomba tu msaada.
Lakini kwa kimpango inalipa, kuna uzuri, sio? Mazuri gani ambayo mmeona tangia umeanza kufanya kutembea labda na hii group?
Mazuri yako, lakini show kwa sasa show imekuwa si kwa rahisi kupata.
Nishikilia hivi vizuri.
Inakuwa kila mtu sasa lazima afanye kazi. Sasa upande wa mazoezi inakuwa ngumu kupatana. Inakuwa tunapatana wakati tumeitwa show, unaona. Alafu pia vifaa pia hatuna, vitu kama hizo, pesa inakuwa ni kidogo. Hiyo ndo changamoto yetu.
Support them. Nyinyi huwa mfanyi zile za barabara, manake pale Nairobi tunawaona wengi. Unajua wanakwenda sehemu fulani labda barabara ambapo watu wengi wanapitia, alafu wanakuwa wanafanya maneno yao pale. COVID kweli inatatiza.
Sasa upande wa
mazoezi, microphone baba.
Upande wa mazoezi tunachapa fresh, lakini tunapatana mmoja. Sasa kija tunaunganisha tu hivyo.
Si neno, nafikiri Wakenya wamesikia, na kwa hilo basi tunaomba wakapate kusikia na ombi lenyu likafike na mengi yazidi kufanyika, ndio muendelee kusukuma gurudumu hili. Otherwise mnafanya kazi nzuri na tumeshukuru tena kuwa na nyinyi asubuhi hii ya leo. Now we're crossing over to the Nyolo dancers. It's only fair that we also listen to them. Mawili matatu watatuzungumzia. My boss gave me a line this morning. He says breakfast in the wild, and here I am. So I'm enjoying my yogurt as we get to enjoy the best of that. The dancers are also on standby on the other side as we just give them a minute or two to speak to us as they do their thing before we get to close the session. It's been a beautiful one right from the word go and up until down. Freddie is also here. He's been doing his magic in terms of making sure that you have music. But all the same, we say that we're here for the better part of the week up until on Friday. So we call it Tourism Week. And we welcome you to be part of this all through as we celebrate the strides we've made in terms of, making sure that tourism, fruitions and does well in the country, in as much as we know that COVID-19 is here and it's not all rosy. So Nyolo dancers, once again, mtuimbie wimbo moja alafu mtuongeleshe mtuambie maneno yenu, sio? Asante. Naona kama morali imefifia kidogo, njaa Ni asubuhi tumeiba since 6 AM up until now. Lazima morali kidogo itashuka, sio? Tunahitaji kucharge. Sio? Tunahitaji kucharge. Aha, kwa hiyo wasalimie wa Kenya. Asante kwa kutumbuiza.
Wakenya wote na wasalimia hamjambo.
Hatujambo.
Nashukuru siku ya leo kwa pamoja nanyi. Langu zaidi ni kushukuru. Na tunazidi kumwomba Mungu kupitia ugonjwa wa corona. Uzidi kutuondokea tu hivyo maana uchumi umeshuka.
Kweli.
Na njaa ni nyingi. Tunaomba tu Mungu atusaidie. Angalau wageni waingie tupate kazi pia.
Kweli. Wakati wageni wapo kazi ipo kwa wengi, itaonekana. Kweli kabisa. Nafikiri hakuna mengi ya kusema, sio? Asante sana kwa kutenga muda wenu, mkakuja mkatutumbuiza jana, kuamkia leo. Tunashukuru. Utawasalimia watu? Manake una microphone.
Kuna microphone. Kwa jina mimi naitwa.
Hebu msongee hivi aonekane.
Kwa majina naitwa Mwanzige kabisa. Ndio mkubwa wa group hii. Wewe tumeiunda kuanzia kitambo.
Muda gani hivi?
Imechukua kama miaka 10 na.
Mrefu
sana. kulingana na hizi ngoma niko nazo.
Ndio.
Hivi ni mzee wangu aliniachia. Mzee wangu alikuwa kazi yake ni alipokufa akona miaka kama 10 na hivi. Sasa ndo akaniachia hii mziki. Ndio naendelea nao mpaka sasa hivi. Naishukuru kwa vile wageni wametukimbia ndio unaona hata tumefifia, hakuna kazi sasa hivi. Lakini corona ikisema ikiisha tutaendelea kufanya kazi tu. Karibu hapo na hoteli yetu inaitwa Taita Hills pale. Ali ndio tulikuwa tunafanya, lakini mambo yalivyoanza hivyo kabidi tukakwama.
Si neno, manake tuko hapa kuhakikisha kwamba at least tunaweza kuzungumza kwa ukubwa, mapana na marefu. Tusiwe tunawangojea na wazungu peke yake. Na pia sisi wenyewe tunatembea, sio? Kwa hiyo tunashukuru sana. Tunaomba Mungu kama mnavyosema, ugonjwa utuondokee, mambo yarudi kama jinsi yalivyokuwa, sio? Asanteni sana. Natumai mtakuwa na sisi wiki nzima, manake tuko hapa mpaka wiki ishe, lakini sawa, tuwayo tutazungumza kando, sio? Asante Fredia. Na wewe kuja utusalimie bwana kabla tufunge. Fredia yuko hapa pia. Ana mic yake. Wasalimie watu.
Habari yenu. Mko sawa? Hata mimi nimefurahi sana kuja huku. I think Safo iko place poa. Tumeona wanyama. Kama dik.
Dik tumeona.
Na kuna ingine
tumeona ndovu.
Tumeona ingine inaitwa
Hyrax inashindanga hapa whatever sijui what.
Then tumekula, tumewekwa vizuri kabisa. So tuko hapa the whole week. Full of entertainment.
That's true, and you'll be getting the best from Fredia. Ukisikia mziki mzuri tu, whether you see him or not, just know that Fredia is in the house. Sindio?
Ndio.
Naona pia wewe umecheza kama wewe.
Wanasema tinakaa acrobatic.
Kidogo karibu nikuambie ingia pale lakini
nataka hiyo kazi.
Ni kama ulikuwa unataka hiyo kazi lakini ikakukataa.
They're my brothers but so.
Asante. Yeah. So here you are. I think on that very note we close it. We are here, we'll be here for the better part of the week. I don't need to say much. Pacific Realty, thank you so much for supporting us. We also have had this moment at the Tsavo East National Park. We are grateful for that. We are at the Voi Safari Lodge. We are equally as grateful for the same KSLH. Asante sana. And TV47 management, for allowing us to come all the way. It is for us to speak about the tourism of this country because we have to revive it and you have to, experience the gains. Every other leader is talking about